nyina momra na mommeboa na ye na nye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busu apanyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na hye mensa se me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
ajana ene yako eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre yako manhia de ka chem se me nko ye me yi 13th na ye toto nema me akoye yi 13th na dafo mu nyina momra na mommeboa na ye na nye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busu apanyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na nye kama ye to asa omo boa panyini
ajana ene yako eye menhia gine sie
ayo ayumre yako manhia de nke yakwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra akra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na ye koye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya te se binu kasa sese bet omoboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa nya na ka chem se me koye mayi 13th na ye toto nema me akoye yi 13th na dafo mu nyina momra na mommeboa na ye na nye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busu apanyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na hye mensa se me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
ajana ene yako eye menhia gine sie
ayo ayumre yako manhia de nke yakwase otumfo na nso so
ajana ene yako eye menhia gine sie
ayo ayumre yako manhia de nke yakwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra akra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na ye koye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya te se binu kasa sese bet omoboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa nya na ka chem se me nko ye mayi 13th na ye toto nema me akoye yi 13th na dafo mu nyina momra na mommeboa na ye na nye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busu apanyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na hye mensa se me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
ajana ene yako eye menhia gine sie
ayo ayumre yako manhia de nke yakwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra akra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na ye koye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya te se binu kasa sese bet omoboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa nya na ka chem se me nko ye mayi 13th na ye toto nema me akoye yi 13th na dafo mu nyina momra na mommeboa na ye na nye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busu apanyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na hye mensa se me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
ajana ene yako eye menhia gine sie
ayo ayumre yako manhia de nke yakwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra akra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na ye koye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya te se binu kasa sese bet omoboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa nya na ka chem se me nko ye mayi 13th na ye toto nema me akoye yi 13 da fo mu nyina mumra na momeboa na ye na ye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo togu manu de busu apanyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensa se me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
Ajana ye ko eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre ye ko menhia de nke kwase otumfo na nso so mso obaye no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpayifo beka kire ne se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na ye koye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mu kasa sese bet omoboa obia ni o kasa hini bia na obia nkasa ye na ka chem se nkoye mayi 13th no ye toto nema ya ko
enkrofo anyankopon de omo ache okwa a omo boa wa kwamiasa nyina so no obi nya saade no so anko pene so sabre oni saade the achievements enema bi a wonso nyankopon boa wa wonsa kan wugidi se ba bi a ne nka wo wode toto ba bi a wo yi ho a wo se difference wo emo de mada bia wani gina ne se wugidi se de obi anya no ebro de wo de no so Ozenka unsa kambro de unsa akansa abri no. One thing you have to consider is your health and your well-being. When you na near maybe the experience wagada nyina kan onso blessing no so unshira o hwehwe no so kan. So any only money and a beba abotum, but the people in your life, the relationship, the achievement, the health, your well-being and the experience wagada no bi o gada as any money. So, by cultivating gratitude for all that you have, you will discover a sense of joy in your life. So, chowani na wesa anema na owa obi ni sa anema ni bi. Obi wonse ampa. E wom se wunya sika bebre nche obotu. Enso akọ anim sini baby ana awodache. Good morning, welcome to Angel 96.1. This is your Angel in the morning. From Nana Kwame Adjei Bohyen. Free Sabria Kopens Abonon Krumpa Imune 30 a.m. It is our duty to serve you breakfast. And now I didn't see an open sorry didn't see. Nina bros ano panunsi ankasebo. Yanko kasebo de. Yanka some of the only man standing. And I could see men so board. And I feel so. I feel him out. Transi ano podi ano panunsi ankasebo break. Good morning. And welcome to Tuesday.
Na ye na ye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo togu manu de busu apanyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensa se me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
Ajana ye ko eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre ye ko menhia de nke kwase otumfo na nso so mso obaye no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpayifo beka kire ne se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na ye koye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mu kasa sese bet omoboa obia ni o kasa hini bia na obia nkasa ye na ka chem se menko ye mayi 13th no ye toto nema ya koye yi 13 da fo mu nyina mumra na momeboa na ye na ye kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no omo togu manu de busu apanyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensa se me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
Ajana ye ko eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre ye ko menhia de nke kwase otumfo na nso so mso obaye no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpayifo beka kire ne se
abepa kasebo mu abesoso kroje masomfo bi yesu abesin konwa yere kasebo mu nsam edi ebrewo nsam edi ebrewo no pay no yedi mu akotene bi
Ghana mampanyi ade atodwa sebre no adu se ye ne China enkita hudie no emu etumi ehakena na boa ema ye niam bia ye ewo mem no China fo no so abam dodo
Ghana abai ebo amade se nyankopon ya domo a December bosumi ne de toso eduba kombo ye yawada ebe ya ana krobia sante kotoko hene
What a course to say to your tosso emieno. Bokon to Quasamua, a Jawasi son Kunyano. The Pia Mubia, what the Wama de Bo, and the Kodama Penny.
Ashankafua my Ghana, one kabomo ekwa yirenum kabomukuo. Enso dia basubodi ebo Ghana mampanisa and Nadia, one more ehune se NDC abayi, wa boa womukuru nompa.
Yabeko ye doma, and Potamo Hodman Kobia Hima, ya one so and a year amasu ba hima, a year nana ya koko sechiwa ine, Ninsagunisa Yamia was the Ghana Mampeni, his sister say John Drabari Mama say, won't turn any machino, Nana Quenya enye.
Yetna aya subonto muna ye kwankofo emasoa ye beko Sudan na Sudan sabra ye kasai enipekuo bi ate wo ho afiri wo maso jasra no mu no wo mo akwakwadi nsamone ema meka sei nipa be seduonum de yeso wo nyakra nanan wo mafiri mu
we no mani afro bi ka ho ne na no pay yeso so nkode de free angel 96 motor FM so de bro nyuma bi ada romande ne anope wasu ibu de kase ibu de bro yan fasida emfama ye angel heba industry ya Dr. Kweko tin wati abrans medo wodano ne ni nra hodo wode abedwa so ye kan bia na onye bi bo mode ne kodwa so pibia tra kwan na ye de ne se de etie bia ne betu na se ama ho atimi ato me kanfo ye new education so samana ne nkum fasese honam no angel fatreke no waposo wachire babo kotodwi ba bia tutu bia wode no angel heba mission so boa boa mutimi toso ema otimi te bewe na so be kompaso abo adwuma amani matimi esane wodi and then I come for your angel rock mister. What about no. Akwakora bedi abere wabedi. But money ne ko just so. Pebi etra kwa na bebuapa. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Make house the church bells family. And the ABN Ghana. Angel FM, the PFM na kambomu. Sadi afi bia ye no. Worship with the widows. Ye ma me no kuna fo ebididi. Achedi e ben wabo trimo sa afi ode eba. Ni nyina no bomode na ye onhihye ye na Nyankopon de adomo a wo de aba Angel FM. So mumbo ye nso a ye mumfui number ndi 0247716364 ufra wodofo ye bejo so na fe huntutie bia ya bo December posime da toso aduo no nkromo na sa adwumadi baso asomfo a yesin konya no pe de kasebo de brewo eye me na ne kusimensa me ya ba
afihima ama Afriye Achumara Bank PLC enso eka boafo no ho bia wo mo edum ya no pe afi kasebo no mo enchiremu enie ye Africa si abona si ana ye ko aye Ghana mampani atena ye na China Global Television Network wo mo ne no akasa na no na wode eto adwa se ene wo hwe o my Ghana hanum se ya ye ne China man no engita hodie no emu odu papa efiti entre ne breso ampanfo mie na mama mie nu tenase na wode wonsa esensan krata sese ayonkofa beba beda ye ntem na China man no aboye ema ye niema ye nya ewo ha no yetumi ade aba omumam na ya ba aba beton no wose etumi ekoyenim na se betumi akoyenim dia na wosre eye China for aban se won momodin a eniema beti se koko timba ena fe so eniema kekeka ho ba de adom ya China yede koho ekokoton no yentumi enso ne ebiso ne nkonko ba se de bia yede niema no raw materials no bekoho ne akwakoton koko no se yankase yetumi dane ani ewo hanum sei na yede product ye benya na sa nsusuaso no ebeko China akwakoton a eno no ebeboye na nkwanko ye se de bia kwan ba ko peso efa so de niema ko China no eno a na ye fa so na sasa de no so betumi aye adwuma ewo sa China ban no boye ne nya factories ahodo pinua ewo my Ghana mu hanum sei a ebetumi aboa ma se timba kurompo no a ene ebeda ne ye nkonwa ye de akwacha na dwaso na yakwakoton se kokko nso a ye nso ebetumi adani wa ha ne nkwanko base ye de ne ma no bekọ no ma dani no ma sa de abreye na ya sato wose da bi sa aguro no e wose edi ekoyenim kura ani kwanse ne ma no kwa na ye de bekọ ho no mo na yakọ akwakoton se ebetumi abam sa de a ne wose China ne Ghana nkita hodie no yetumi ayirimu
partner, and trade between Ghana and China has continued to grow exponentially. The zero tariff policy is now kicking in, and so I believe that it will create a conducive atmosphere for us to grow that trade even more. We're looking on the Ghanaian side for Chinese industries to come and help us add value to the products that we have so that we can export back into the Chinese market. Apart from that, there's the important issue of harmonization of standards. China has about 40 standards. And so we need to harmonize our standards with the Chinese standards so that it makes it easier for us to export into the Chinese market. So those are the areas we are ironing out. And I think that we can reach understanding as long as the relationship between us is what it is. Yes, China has been a true friend of Africa. And I believe that under the Belt and Road Initiative and under FOCAC, major infrastructural projects that are transformative have occurred in many African countries. I can speak for Ghana. We discovered huge quantities of gas offshore, and we decided that we wanted to use that gas for power. But you need to process that gas before you can generate power in a thermal plant. And so China invested almost $1 billion to set up our first gas processing plants at a place called Echiabo.
Ghana Mampani and one China Global Network Ekasaye. Na efa aya enko asoma mre BSC ye ewo wiase nyina ehono wose enese wo ba ebibrem hanmusi a ekwaya yam sede abrofo no yedasoa ayenkoa edema wo mo enti eba aye Ghana yene amahodo ho nkitahode na nyame ya adoma afia ye besimu ewo United Nations General Assembly no Ghana edebekọ akwakoto wo manim sedabi ebra sosie tumi bu ye niguso ne e wone ma bi wo ho no ma tumi ji ye ho de firi mu eni kwan se yaje ye ho a wo bia so wode ne ho no enso mama ne bi wo ho no mo asetele no a abrofo no da so ade wo mu hwene esi wo mu eniema wo mu ayomo wose eba ne sa no a na yamfa ebuo ne anidie amfa mase wo bia betumi enya eye ne fa hodie eno so eho ansam eni.
Africa suffered two serious crimes against humanity. The first was the slave trade, and I believe that that was the greatest crime against humanity, where between 12 and 15 million Africans were taken from Africa to the Caribbean and the Americas and Europe. And their labor was used to build what today is modern Western civilization. This labor was unpaid labor. They were not remunerated for the work they did in the sugarcane fields, in building the railways, in building the roads, the bridges, and all that. We believe that first and foremost, it should be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity, and we must condemn the activity of slavery. Of the people who were shipped to what I call the New World, that's the Western world, estimated that as many as 2 million did not arrive at the destination because they were either too sick or they died on board and they were just tossed over into the ocean.
Ghana Mampani, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Sabra Yakasei, Nano Memeda Wotuno Tuko PMO Awakata Dohano, when your mamma drew yenti we no China television station be a call word nubieno, and no moneno Ekasaya, watch them when it's wadi no minor pese, what to me epia. Na ne no sankwa somni ade atumi twam kura firi ho no mo osohwe bebe mamu bia setele no a ebida so a e won kwasom.
Yeah, to akasebo no so na bomode na join you Facebook no so ye Angel 96.1 Kumasi obetumi ade wo fidie no ato ye Pio 95.7 ye dem live for hono omanfo do adwenkyere no eba pa Sly John Winnie and afia Krokai Julia Tieru edifri akokere mai ade na mo hye mo omanfo so enya bi enhwe ye to akasebo no so no ye nko eye bokonsensem we bokonsensem na ba be ye nsem ne kase pa ade amagana aban ya sesei aban ehunu ne wonye ne ho se de be ye na asomdwe betumi atena eye bokko na women yenyi asomdwe eno ane asemu asese abeyen samne kase pa ya eda Ghana Mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama o Mampani be wo Ghana manfo nyina boso oba kwan bia so no de na besi fom no ahwe se de be na asomdwe betimi atena bokko na metiw no makao kusase de mampurisefo ya wo kire kaso ehwo no no wahwe no watimi asiesi wontem ampa wo Mampani nyansa mu no na no ya no bo kire ede bedan krobia sante kotokwa hene wote kokoso tumfo setu ya wotoso emie no wode na bedweko ase we de wombo ano na wonsiso nkodwa na wonhwe enti afane nyina ano asem na yemfa eniema ntutu yie no korebenie asante mewura korobia asante kotokwa hene wotumfo setu ye otoso emie no etu sa na mo no ya woton safra ye kusasefo eton safra ye mampurisefo a wonyina no obia ababeka di onim ewa asabde ho na bra asante mewura eti sansem nyina wie ye no afa no wo bo akire ya wo de ho report no wo de kwakwada wo mampanyini na eja wo mampanyini gira ye bia wo besie e wo asem ne hwe mu bia no wa hwe no wa ye ne saa e na no pay Ghana ban bo amade ye se yankopon ya domo a ya wada e pay e ye December bosumi de toso eduba ko mu no e na e ye asantime wura woni e ye ne mediation team no wo mo e de report wa e free asenie ni mu no e ba ye no wo de be kwakwada Ghana mampanyini His Excellency John Dramani Mahama e be ye dwabo ya wato nsafro ye mpanyimfo akone ne ye de ntine na nanom ese wo nyina wo mra na eja ye nyina ye mfa yie mfanto yie ye nhwede ye ntimi sese kusase ne bamprosefo a ede wa man tokwasam so obuko no ye nhwe ye ntimi mfa yie nto yie wa hyese yankopon ya demo a ya wada anopa no ndo pepepepepe na wode sa adwumadi ye ehye so e wo Jubilee House ye wo enkran ya o mampani no a e betre mu no wahwe na wotimi asiesi sade medi kan ye wato nsafro ye institutions ahodo na nanom fe soro ya ahodo ene wo na ka ho bia ye Biti said National Peace Council, a fe Christian Council, and a fe National Chief Imam, Aton Safra Woman, a fe Catholic Secretariat, UNDP, British High Commission, and the Afofre Eka home. Asheya, Eshe, Upper East, and a fe North East, so Womanjano, baby. A fe Nanama him for no bedoko, ye war Upper East, Womanjana, and so Yaton Safromo, and a fe National Security, Womanjana Beko, Naja, Yenina, Yakuso Sargene, now few 2-4 Asantimevra. Ni mo ye ye ne de pie mo ba ye bia no wa hwe no wode ato ye nananom anim na afi ye nyina ya hwese asomdwe betimi atena ye boko sede ho amade bo no etie no
Commercial Drivers Wives Association of Ghana na chese ashankafo a ewo my Ghana mu hanu sei wo mu yirenom na atikuo yi na wo mu de aseda emu ode pa akode ama eye Ghana mampani wo kiremu a abandada no atwa mu ne de sɛ de obetete adromafo e wokura mu nyasam ketwa e madromafo no pressure saa mo ba fie no mo yerenom kura atwebe wo mu a wo so da bi ene sɛ de pressure no kɔsoro no fu obo no ekɔsoro spare parts bo no ekɔsoro enti driver ni bedu fie no obetete bibia afiri mu no na kakra bi na aka de nsɛm be ma so de oni sika ne ho kura enya de atumi so de enti ene ya NDC amanyakuo eba ye no sɛ de omampani aba betete fu wo no so sɛ huhu high sense no na wasan so ma spare parts bo na ba fom ama ene no sika kakra bi kwa ne kuta wo de kwa mazi atum de siesie o ka no na baba ye adwuma kama sɛ de wo pɛ no wo mo da mampani ase pa wo kyerem a sɛ de pressure ne ba ya na omo no omo kuru no mu ntam na ye no awaleja ye kura ba ya ne sa sɛ be ma de wo ne te no na akwa bibio ho enti ene no wo mo da Ghana mampani ase Madam Gifty eya ayirinbika wono ene da ekuo ye ni mu a wakasa ye
ene de yeso etimi sere kama first de to oba ma bere mi sisi mint na se eso ene nyame aya adom sisi no kwa de ni mebie wo bie mu ye ni mebie wo eno so oba ya enkomo no akoyi kama eni ji abafie siri abafie etimi hu so oba bie wo ha oba manu kunu pressure first na no ma na nkwe ye na pressure ne do so eno ma ye ama ye so ye siri eni so siri sa na ya afo so bro ye idie ye bedi pa because e brebi atwom 8 years na bro ye ba kra ni yem hihye yan na ye mpese ye beti se bro ye bi bo ba
ashakafo a ewo my Ghana wankabo wo yirenom kabo mukuo ena wo mo eda Ghana mampani ase na nanu si ya pe ena chairman na wada Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana no Owura William Osai dodo na afa ne pa wuli wono so edi bi eso so wo so hwa NDC aban ba ye afimuani nanso ade a wo mayade amashankafo ne fie wotwefo no kura no wo mo anya ne saa enefu wo no yatete so spare parts no yatete bo no so etu ye driver ni a esuro bia ni akire kane no so de ese de na omo ho kire wo mo pa no na no odin enti se ne no Ghana mampani aba no man the system is working na sida no a eno mo de ma no
aban bi aba se contractors stop wo mo adwuma ansana o hwehwem nanso ye de ngane to fo mi hu se o ma papa ya njo ma adwuma o ye this year no o fa Ghana ba bia o de bibia to fema o ye na adwuma e fa kwan o ba petrol wa ma petrol gina o fa dollar wa ma dollar gina de wa contractors e ye adwuma no e ba ye nga driver fo ye ngani aje se wantimi anye bibi ama se ne ma nyina antimi ansipo a ye no Concerned Drivers ye besa ababeka Concerned Drivers any union drivers union yes say send them maybe one way my driver from one crackers and my drivers union so be a yabino or more say and no or become no be a man if you can be I can say oba on your drivers day man and you also could be farmers day drivers day no so you so kind say obey a Sunday.
Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana. Womo so aba so ba womo de bo Ghana man pani no se ne fu obo na ba fam akwan ni ade omo nam so na nya ni nya ban no de nhihye gu akwan mu a wo ya akwan ni nya de ama womo etuom de omo be kan ne se aseda no a.
Yeah, to akasebo so bomode na journey o Facebook no so 96.1 Kumasi Mohammed Munidu Edifra said Damai Dabon Joseph India ba company Mangala crew from Colombia Godfred Ataboson Pem Edem and afi Samuel Cruz or also Edene Diaba why de Monshe na yenko eyedoma na ehon mu na eyamesuba hema ya wono so de yanko bia hema ina no dem dia wosle Ghana mampanyini his excellency John Dramani Mahama say eja wa bia na so ya nei wotie Ghana fo aseme die wontie na aseme bi man kakra no meye nmoa no huna mane toto titiro na akwan nyenyenyenyenyenyenyenye na kire se no kurem ne nei so do de etreye amasu ekwan no a ekwan no asem enti ama kuafo ha pa ye ken no ba ye dodo no ano a ye de koye dwama so mo manfo gya bi todie ene ade no eho de fire na kuafo yi entimi nko efuo mu enkofa no ba ye ema esan se kwan no asem enti no ene ne be de ne didi enti o mampani momodin a no mfa neni enkyere eya mbesu o maye ne moa said be yes akwan no ase no obeyi atomu ede amano wo kire se eni so ukọ eye ambesu ene ne mpotemu a na nan makuafo dodo no a ena wo kasa wontremu esan se eniema nkoyi emfa ema won na wo so wo mampani John Dramani Mahama woni na ndisi abane mugidie papa esan se wo mampani de wo kan wotie enti wo kan wodum so mampani betie na waba be ye ne moa itichiru free ye kyeremasu ekoya mesu kwa no wo hwe no meyi ma no nana ekire se eno akire nana makuafo dodo no anso ede wo ho awura eye ntakraboa eye mu de first poultry no enti so munya ede first poultry processing factory e wa mbesi ho no a eno so be bokwan amemabunu dodo no a enya adwuma ye ama eye won economy no enso etimi afa no ntuma pa efra ensemi bi kan we ho enanana eho ede ho adesere ede ato mampanyina nim
Roma ye kurei kriayo adwuma wodo nyina bi wo kurei yanso ye boa Ghana kriaye kwam yanso ye de aduane oba ye ma ho bibiti na maka ne saa no ne nananom benefo ho ba ya da Roma ho fa ye kwani so se memma ibedua no so ne braso se ese be de kwa mansane nyina na mansane nya bibi ne bedia kwane ne nti na ma ho sem ayekana ba be tuto ne ma no be de chemesu ne be hwe kwane na ne ba asa ne bechi oba ne saa ne de yes gedi oba dwama nso ama bia nsa ka bi na aboa ama Ghana yesika sema koyie no ne osei timesire se ne se ho watu anamo no aba no wa be hwe mfudi ahode a ogudwaim ne wa hu se ankobia eye ama esuso a odom amanim yesu ye yobi e wo kuadwuma mu.
Yeah, we any nsama ye na ya akokọ sechiwa ya woye eye ameso eba hima no wasan ya nkobia hima wodoma traditional area ho ena de sansemi etodwa na eye Honorable Joseph Adjei Akwaboa Esquire ya woye bono mantemu soafo wono so ahyeda na bose nana wasem no watie pa nti wo so bose won kana koma ntode yam akwan ahodo ebiti se efiri eye kyeremasu ekoye Gambia number 2 ekwan no aban ebehwe no yi afei ko eye genegene ekoye sampa kwan no aban be yi atum sampa koye nsokọ kwan aban be yi atum uduma so koye bedo tan ekwan no eno so aban ebe yi atum brekum ekose kwa ekọ nsokọ ekwan no nso no enche kora aban be yi atum ni nyina no aban be gina eye de friend say ni big push agenda ne so na wahwe what media baby say ya kwan hodo atisisi afei koye bono ntemu yi a wo se Ghana ban ehwese akwan kese ahodo ya efiri ye atesi kurom ekoye kurom diaba ekurom ya ni nyina wodoma wose no wo se enche kora Ghana ban behwe no yi sa kwan ni nyina atum se de be ya ye ka akoni abadie ehon nsem no ebetimi akokama kama ede amaye.
The government Big Push program is being rolled out across the entire Bono region to open up our economy and accelerate development through massive road infrastructure investment. However, for the purpose of this historic celebration here in Doma, I wish to highlight only the critical roads directly serving our municipalities. These includes the Tremasu Gambia #2 road. Senior na Nanahima Kasa, Nanahima de.
nti we yeni ensamoa ene honorable Joseph Ade Akwaboa ya wo ye bono mantem no soafo wode atodwen sebi nyina free Angel 96.1 FM so na ebo akwemu ye ho so akoti abo afon krato ye ba ya ka chire no ye beto also.
In February 2025, the 38th African Union Summit was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, under the theme Advancing Justice for Africans and People of African Descent Through Reparations. At the summit, President Mahama called for a new wave of awakening across the African continent.
You gave a very powerful speech at the 38th African Union Summit, where you talk about the fact that perhaps there should be another round of Africa reawakening. You talk about justice for Africans and people of African descent, repatriation, not just in financial terms, but there are 3 R's that you mentioned, restitution, rehabilitation, and guarantee of non-repetition. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Africa suffered 2 serious crimes against humanity. The first was the slave trade, and I believe that that was the greatest crime against humanity, where between 12 and 15 million Africans were taken from Africa to the Caribbean and the Americas and Europe. And their labor was used to build what today is modern Western civilization. This labor was unpaid labor. They were not remunerated for the work they did in the sugarcane fields, in building the railways, in building the roads, the bridges, and all that. We believe that first and foremost, it should be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity. And we must condemn the activity of slavery. Of the people who were shipped to what I call the New World, that's the Western world, estimated that as many as 2 million did not arrive at the destination because they were either too sick or they died on board and they were just tossed over into the ocean. That was genocide, And so it's an issue that the first step is for us to accept. And so Ghana wants to move a motion in the UN next year, asking the world to recognize the slave trade as the greatest crime against humanity. And so we'll continue to push on the African champion on reparations. When I spoke even at the UN, I raised the issue of reparations. And so I do think that that is to do with slavery. With regards to colonialism, the Berlin Conference partitioned Africa, and the European nations took colonies in Africa, ran those colonies, exploited the natural resources, and transferred those natural resources, oil palm, gold, minerals, cocoa, and other products, to develop their countries. And it's only from the late 50s that countries like Ghana got independent. And so that was an injustice. Colonialism was an injustice against African countries.
You expressed admiration for the founding father of Ghana, Nkrumah, multiple times, quoting him in his speeches about Africa's first round of awakening, whereby he said the best way for Ghana to become an independent state is to be an independent state. Why did you admire him so much?
Kwame Nkrumah was one of the leading Pan-Africanists, and he believed not only in the capability of Africans to be able to manage our own affairs, but he also believed that Africa should unite in order that we can optimize our potential to create opportunities for our people.
There have been questions, comparisons of China's approach towards Africa over the years and decades versus previous powers. There's some questions associated on sustainability, on labor, on the nature of mutually beneficial cooperation. How would you assess the Chinese approach now that Ghana, the country you're leading, have been a pioneer in leading the first round of awakening of Africa.
Our relations with China have been historic. One, because China has maintained a solidarity with all developing countries and identifies itself strongly with the global south. And so that gives a natural, a basis and platform for cooperation. And you can't transform the economy without putting in the social and economic infrastructure. And so for many years, Africa found that if it had to do a highway between two principal cities, if it had to put a power plant, if it had to do transmission lines to be able to take electricity across the country, it had to turn to China. I think that because of China's solidarity with the global south, it understands the needs of the developing world. And China has stepped forward. Like you said, I was here in 1999, and I visited Shenzhen and Beijing at the time. Today, if I see Shenzhen and Beijing, I mean, they're so transformed. If you look at the railway map of China just 10, 15 years ago, and you look at the railway map today, high-speed trains and all that, I mean, it's like a complete, transformation. And so China understands the need to have that kind of transformative investment. And that is why it supports Africa in investing in transformative infrastructure. And I think that that's a good thing. But aside from that, our worldview, a lot of the time coincides with China's worldview. China has supported Africa in the quest for a permanent seat on the United Nations and continues to support Africa's position. And so if you have somebody who supports you like that, naturally, they are a friend and you gravitate closer together.
I like this word, gravitate towards each other. That happens naturally, but also with some efforts. Do you see China as a strong partner in this in this Ghanaian transition from sovereign independence, which was realized a long time ago, to sovereign modernization?
Yeah, China has always solidarized with Africa in that regard.
And then the international landscape is more than complex, to put it mildly, complicated. As all this evolved, as you rightly mentioned, Mr. President, the Chinese leader, President Xi Jinping, proposed the global initiatives on governance. What promise do you think this Chinese philosophy, this way of governance, can play in perhaps ushering in a new era of true multilateralism going forward for the global south as well as for the rest of the world?
The global south has been left behind in the global order that has existed since the end of the World War. It's an unjust system in terms of global trade. It's an unjust system in terms of the global financial institutions. It's an unjust system in terms of the illicit financial flows from the global south to the global north. And so in fashioning a new global order, we must insist on justice and equality, and that the system is not rigged against Africa and the global south. And so that is what the parameters of any new global order should be.
Sudan, one year tea won a free a soldier a fono emuno, and they know what woman, and no money a soldier for no a day abo a year ni elho. Now, one more aquacoto a year to pay a mamaka say nipa a year a drunum, and no more a frimu. A more dear Sammy and sa a young quada. One more macani do me and paying for. Now, watch out what if I drawn ye a bimu. I only say be a tram for near a video. Sana a year to pay and a woman. What they are to just say, Sefempa. What dear Equa so Sudan, minor emuno. Na so bet to me, Akukumu Suku Fonquada, woman shade dear. And now do more ebesus also. Ain't ye nay, a masaku bata and a fire sham of Friday dear one some so UNICEF no, woman nad woman what mubi. And after you and now so Akasa, and the Afadia Equa so a war a Sudan mono. Nanso so the phone said Nadia Mobapin so Momuni and no muti womo, a free mono, Mamobaji or minor, a bosso.
And 7 years. Yan faster than for me in 7 penny abwajira Costa one ma for ne kasebo de mufu nyina. O ma ya de. O mo de be sin kodia no pebe pa kasebo e mu ma so fo mienu yen se be kenka ma mu. Na na ya so de be gina camera no achi ya wo hwe yetumi tutu bibia ma yi stream ye ko Facebook no so. Yan faster than for me nyume kwa hodo ye. Angel Heba Industry be boy no pay. Be so bomode ne kodwa so ne pe inra hodo a ne doctor dia be dwa so ne bi. Ni tichiro Angel Rock be star robot anti ma kokra be dia berewa be di. Bomode ne kodwa so. Yankopon ye adoma worship with the widows 2025 no. Ye ne ma me no be kunafo be hwe abum. Kakra bia no eja akoma so betimi dia be you adoye no obetimi dia Angel FM ha na wo de kwaye POFM na obetimi amomoye 0247716364 December bosimi de toso radio no enkono that anopa don do pepepe na etime de the Grace Chapel Assemblies of God so for lie
Achuma Bank PLC enso equity mo ebi ubetumi afro mo 050-138-7036 eso epema chonkofo bi enkrata bi ababedi eye Angel FM fia hanum se eti wo ba hanum se ya na wababodi na yahwe Edward ama kama midi afihima ama afriye mene
na nekusi bensa yebom ama munyina moniti ade na yebe sorry na agudi ma konfo no edi agudi mo nsam no edi aba na ni nyina mo no Nyankopon ya domo wa weekend yi hampaye bedwa ewo Justice Luxury Hotel ewo pechi number 2 zede ye kuye de mpachi bia bi wo ho ene nti no wonya duru ho do mo dia de obedie ba bia beda swimming pool ni nyina no Chairman Kwame edi ede mu edi IMB filling station wo chire ho do mo wo pechi number 2 ho ene ye kwa akobode mu Nyankopon ya domo enne Champions League you know say na ho asembesi akọ Chelsea ye jena brande ye ne Atlanta ye be hye wo mo nkofo kire say yasa but ye nsan ni nyina update no ye agudi ma konfo na ye krado ye mo de ebrel
ye da ye 13th ya ye no ya te se bi mo kasa sisi but omoboa obia ni o kasa ni bia na obia nkasa ye na ka chem se menko ye meyi 13th na ye toto nema ya koye yi 13th na da fo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na ye kama de omo kaka de mfuturo no omo tugu manu de busu apanyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
ajana ene yeko eye menhia dinesi
ayo anope ayumre yeko menhia de nke yekwase otumfo na nso so mso obaye no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mo kasa sese bet omoboa obia ni o kasa hini bia na obia nkasa nya na ka chem se menkoye meyi 13th na ye toto nema ya koye yi 13th na da fo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na ye kama de omo kaka de mfuturo no omotugu manu de busu apanyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini
ajana ene yeko eye menhia dinesi
ayo anope ayumre yeko menhia de nke yekwase otumfo na nso so mso obaye no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusu apanyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya
Manchester yedi asida and Manchester boafo omaso yasene e Manchester dia gudem nsam no e de mete forma mosumati time heba mesa nuro no e we dwaso time force bra na beti aduro na no e mebia so enkoso malaria fever and hawa omumu aduro e Manchester dia to ase menstrual pains e to ase and afei wonuma to na wontimi ne dia time heba mesa e be mo kabom e mebia so etimi akoso ye time HH Mesha and the capsules and all Johnson out here our Johnson anymore ebe to us sanso and at the immune system and oba watenka ewa from Bema also ayemre ewa permanent time HH Misha and the capsules na mebuao baby ato be drobiano obenya biato 0244 417669 0244 417669 at the time akasa bash digital satellite Ese be decoder na fetu juma baby awo bia unya decoder bia no bas se oto ne nkra o de be braw na wasa install esanso e de account e ma no ma so natimi akoso boso me so na so pese o recharge ya bas se o be recharge e de amount e me bia so etimi akoso ye home service enya sem keto akwa ye wa Breford Junction sipu Kotoko Junction o e na sabe kan 0200 050848 0556 287757 Nane Bus Akasa and the Diaso Etima Koso Kingdom Herbal Center and the Numiansa and the Diabetaso Kingdom Kali Capsules and in Bitasawe Jaso Immune System Ebe Busuno Yaria no Aya Stroke no Ebe Tuasie Wakuma na ya Aya Kingdom Kali Capsules and in Bitasno Yawa Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and ya Bema Wayamre Ewon pem obetie gina enso badwuma won pem ye pa eme bia so etimi akoso tremendous councils enso ejaso eno ejasa oba oti atenka ewo wase oba wase bie atesa pesete aye tight no aye tremendous capsules ena wonom eme bia so etimi akoso baby ato bibidro no obenya bia to obetimi afre ye number no 0275 804 064 0302 938 153 Nane Kingdom Herbal Center Akasa Makion ese brand bedidi dia duania ente dia duana be bowonum dia duana be dia fili ene dia so etimi akoso fufu ene laiso fufu ene abunabunu nkwan ye wo banku ne tilapia banku no okrosil ye wo bayram pesie ena fe bodiam pesia eno asonson pa ena fe palava sauce obedia fili your fried rice jollof rice ena fe plain rice ye wo Chinese recipe ena fe Lebanese enuane nyina no obenya biato ewo Macron restaurant ho ene to Christmas ope baby ene abusafo na tena dia eye Macron restaurant ena kwakotena na so etime didi obeso make order obetimi afre number media to 0244 417446 0544 989879 yawo asokwa yani ECG no ene banwo ye pa obeboa ene bia so etimi akoso Ojo Ventures as a television set washing machine fridges and apata Ojo Tomi Edi amount eme bia so etimi akoso o sofa ewe na so ye ojo se o the mattresses enso etimi aba oba na so ya obenya bia to o pedodo atua ojo so betu edi amount o pe ba konso to ojo eton edi amount ye wa kokos specs ewe na ojo ne number ni 0548 504270 0260 617324 Nani Ojo Akasa Emebiaso etimi akoso di amount.
All right, Stefan and Sema Kenny Rose Internet Solutions. Kenny Rose Internet and pay otimenkana ope internet papa aya juma na bibia aya ntentemwa only Kenny Rose any komo for the best of internet services no said dedicated internet home unlimited and as a business unlimited internet only Kenny Rose enkasa eba cloud services omuna eye to say web storage emails documents and a calendar no afe internet video and audio services no omuye network management and a security na Kenny Rose Internet Solutions omo kumase Ashtown Ecobank nenchenwa obetimi afre e was 0208 282810 0208 282810 now ni Kenny Rose atwen komo Dream World Travel and Tour obabwa na watu kwa ko Dubai ene kata na wanya adwuma ye omosi adwuma ne bebre ena aba general helpers loaders cleaners warehouse helpers construction workers and adwuma p ene fi Dubai ene kata enso aba Dream World Travel and Tour obabwa na watimi akọ wani abrea anopay for birth set eno passport na fe unu omo entren komo uni bi so enya problem obabwa na why sa document ni bi na watimi akọ Dream World e Kumase Abrepo Junction, both the na NS Chemist no ana Tinga Junction so omo ho ubetima frɛ wɔn ɛwɔ 0553 033 735 and answer 0536 315028. Now ni Dream World Travel and Tour atwen komo Angel Rock Mission no eda so odwa so eyadura eboa pa titiriu wa usisi eya wo yeye usisi ya wo ya pa pe Angel Rock Mission na no ebeboa na atu ase kra afi won so a ahotutuo edi unya anase wonsa ene wonan na ayetitriti a unya Angel Rock Mission na asane afisa ohari nyina mu wonum beto so na wodidi eboa ema wontini enso nya ahoden pa ema bema adesan wutimi ye mensem enso ewo enkomo so a enya sam keto akra Angel Rock Mission ewo dwa so uhia bia obetimi afrɛ sa homai na unsa kan bi 0244 719230 and I say 0244 186612 Angel Rock Mission or say akokra bedi
abrewa beje ene asen ho emepia so atimi akosua enye asem keto kwa ye kwano no ne adiamano ne nsem no ade atoa so ade amamo emepia so atimi akose ne ye bewuram ewo tesesala ensensem no na ye te ho nsem no ade atwetwa enra Manchester team ne kwa we ekose kama ko enan ema bobo kwa ne tin ade Wolves o mantimi anteka eno atime course the same game no enwa nsem na atwetwa ema musuma timi atia enya nsem keto kwa enra game eno encourse no Brantana and Bruno Fernandes over 2 goals. And my team no Nabaku a penalty and no other Twatina and my team the Brian in Bemo and Twatina my team no and now for Mercy Mountain so and I said 4th goal no and my team now over another day and it just said Jean Richina Bogan or no and I take any Bako and my Wolves team now Omu Ansono Elusu Sankema and wait me Koso says Soria table now Manchester free 12 and some number Tosu and Siena Manchester and some number Tosuno and Crystal Palace and a Danine over 26 points. Chelsea team no Etosu enum over 25 and in front to just Manchester United and so Etosu Ensia or no over 25 and no and it's just a dear bar. Yeah, this is our story, no. And so, Etimia Tucha, and games Aurora, and Wetima cross in Pisa, Etinafi Emma Palmer, Ekosana Kabakua, went to Manchester, and Wetima cross you didn't team no, and so Vanitas at Genoa, Emma Cosano, Genoa Tim Kobo, 2 goals, you didn't follow, Omutimate Canin Bako, AC Milan Kwawe, and so our Torino, Emma Sagana Cosano, yes, started game the first half, no, I best 17 minutes, not AC Milan. The former Camianoa, no Montimiante, a Joe Rapio, Abate Canin Baco, Adima, a similar team no, and your front to just a Christian Pulisic, one on about 2 goals at the Cajon. Emma Milan, when this game, and went to my course into 3-2, and a Milan team no, it's my winning Alfe, or Sasuna, so say 2 goals, Levante team no, and Timanti Saka, and no letting me cross, yet they and want some teacher, not Diatiana say, Manchester Mancha, and no letting me cross no, Unim Manchester team this season, a Debaco and poor Manchester, and it's almost no across this year, young front to just only Manchester City, Omu. As a 35 goals, and what the Arsenal team no, and some as a 28 goals, Omunkwan as a more goals, and yet a Manchester team no, Manchester as a 26 goals, and no a season in no, and no any idea. Ebo Manchester team no MSC me kase baby omuta ya this house story no and so that him ya Twitter and what you front to just ora niti and just Bruno Fernandes and also no I just a player one no register at least and no I 10 goals contribution I was the last 7 Premier Leagues ora no and so etimi abono not just Afibiano I the last 7 years here Manchester able Premier League Bruno enya 10 plus goals and assists one no answer Vetimena or no any jolly player waiting Ayasatina Yate and once I'm there to Danamoko Wolves for no Umasa Bruta Yes, but what's him no? Your status is no more winning game.
Exactly.
You about 15 matches. Omu and winning bakukra. Oma but draw me I need to know omu 2 points. And that's your our Premier League team. And yet the last 9 matches are what's him number no? Omu and winning be. Omu and draw be. Oma lose 9 matches in and so let him there to so. Oma says 6 goals and Oma consider 21. And on I just a teamer. Niti and it just a wosa. Yet I want some there to Dana. Malcolm no supporters no. Manchester say and nine na supporters in bia dano mate as a bono common and hebium. Na papa could a chebi or the ura and non I just a ceremony no or no. Sabon Santa pa. What done it and is a bon one hebium. Team Nasado.
What tears come as study? But what done it is a bono
because team no, there are no mercy Kakono and your credo and so many just a diaba. Yadis also, you know, at your Twitter, Yako Mohammed Salah and send some so near to one some no and so let him their Twitter and Ra Mekatos anyone you know and so here Ora Nitim Adita say Jamie Karaka and somebody by Twitter and so let him their for Salah and Anrano, not just a Yorano, and not just Onosino, and Viasina, and so letting up a member so, Nemum Diamatene said, Liverpool Timness on Maton Salah, and on January, Liverpool Timness on Matono, na Meteor Cross Gentia. Ekoba se Salah eba bontea wonon abes pele waters eme wiase nyate ya ne se nanka Liverpool 4% omuya ne kakra nanka eduru eye January nanka omatono ade ne ko Saudi Arabia ene ekoba se ni agent no enso letime find out okache Salah ema Salah so ebe to bomb ema no maso etime crosso benya ne nchese Salah say wonon Saudi Arabia no onya obekro Nemum and yes, Saudi Arabian Kwa and no Salanon. And so no because one of them the born what did say on family what you sent is a Kobase Timby at FC Barcelona bar or no Salana already say or join us club no and what Real Madrid team no and so no bet me join it and you're fun to just a Bayern and so team the bar or no so no bet me join us team no and a dear so at me Cosintino Argentina mo pesa moya kokwasa nam mo sepuno at the Saudi Arabia and a Kobaso Urani Jaya, one on Addis and Betuja, Yadis house toy, you know, and so let him to Tiatis, and not just our timer, not just a Monday night football, and some Naba Besasiano, Metese, Nasala Airtime, Asemo Uranani Ting. Ani Karaka, Ani Batuja, Aninti Metesa, Liverpool Fono, Omomedia Timnikata Salase, Wakabia. Enti Sakobase aya Karaka aka nsembia enrana joa eni kwase oko social media no so enso ngadi sam kotoja because Sakobase Karaka ka na so ka na Karaka ka now so I can ebasa at the Liverpool team no and so let me back from Tomoka China say and you can so oko social media no so na or no and so ngadi sam kotoja ya did and want some to 9:30 bar na ya biamuye and so let me there tell na aya Karaka number 1 Ocean from Twitter saying Salano, etumre bi enka enya o chese o selfishness and it just no maybe awya enka sabre ka Liverpool team komo nimpa na enano o matter Florian Fitch adenaba boy ehia go Liverpool team wanya chance bi antese biamu dia to dia mano pia boni ma Florian Fitch no for boni ntwatena o selfishness nti o kwakobo no enso let me dia twatena ema tese sadia no enso entimen kosinto say enya won kon na born wo bo what you say bo place ni binom na omu enya juma ema no maso enkosie ne kanti asema owura no ade tuja.
And when Mo Salah's talking about how many goals he's scored, I've got more goals than anyone in the Premier League, what I did last season, he's always speaking about himself. One thing I just want to sort of remind Mo Salah, maybe his agent, is that before he came to Liverpool, Mo Salah was known as the guy who failed at Chelsea. That's just a fact. He'd never won a major trophy before he came to Liverpool. He's also the greatest player his country have ever had in Egypt. Egypt, in the African Cup of Nations, are the most successful nation. He's going there in a couple of weeks. Mo Salah's never won the AFCON. That is not me trying to put Mo Salah down as a player. I've just said he's one of the best players in the world in the last 8 years. Very few better. But what it tells Mo Salah and his agent is, it's not about an individual. You weren't a big star before you come to Liverpool. You haven't really won anything with Egypt anyway. And all that's telling you is, no matter how good a player you are, you need help from your teammates, your manager and fans. And I think that's really important that he remembers that.
Okay. No, I am some Jamie Carragher at the Atuja. Yade and was some match for way I Jordan Tuta. I saw time, I Salah, and so Ampa, I Liverpool Timna or no beer. Because now what the camp at Chelsea Ababe Feli and walk down Waba Obano. Now you touch a Bakukra and Fensu now sent to Diana Baswa. Ahuma Swan, Abeshomo, because so the Ayanyao, and Manchester Liverpool Timonqua, and now and some Antima, just Anya Kitoko, and Ramon. Or you saw 8 minutes. And a Cassaye, added for Salah, a brand new call, and she 9:30 and Famo, and Famramun, and maybe a soon cause way, and a backward woman, yea, at the amount. Answer said no, I am some Jamie, added to a Salah anymore. Yet it's our story known, and I met her from Timonco, at the local story soon at Twasso.
All right, Felix Medawasi Naka Cray Saka of Yama Tiefo Enso Hu. Yansha from free a Ghana Football Association Enso Asue Enra, the General Secretary, Prosper Harrison Ado, Adin Sasha Krata say Aba Bontain, their Kratane Ekanina, and say a Kaibo and Omodema clubs no said the second registration window no when we ebe and Chebia on the 16th of December and on BSA window no ama clubs are a person register players no when we ebe register and date no 16th of December and on be window no now by 15th of January no abana we yana say bosume baako no mudi bie na clubs ni nyina e free the Ghana Premier League, Division 1 League, the Women Premier League and all regional football association leagues and also when you bre person register a player we a timer obetimi register 16th December ekopim the 15th of January next year and we the FA no e the aba no pay yama tiefo nyina and so aso ate na meka Ghana football e ho asem no ye nyina ye nim say sabre the Women FA Cup no and also ekoso pa Women FA Cup no nyame boa e that the 10th of December and a draw ebekoso for round 32 and we a Women FA Cup said the honsam tie and amede amawi nyame boa tena draw e baso na women clubs are qualifying nyina no oba hu opponents omo ebehia in the Women FA Cup no and no enso ene de tie yeba mema no so FA Cup ne dia nyame boa tena yenim say Asante Kotoko any future stars enso game ebetimi abaso in the Men FA Cup no na sa ene tie the president of the Ghana Football Association Rocket Edwin Simon Okraku wedin komo ache say sema waka ene say Ghana League no afi ekoso pa de noma ekono nani age ho na mom wase adwuma pinu a ene wo ho sans wo no nani so de hunu ene say Ghana League no ebetima the best our Africa ebeba mu sa de a agesa adwuma den all stakeholders obia na famu de ansana abasa
too much super fantastic Ghana Premier League debiaum maybe our controversies, good football, good talent, good coaching, good teams in the pre and post match interviews. I mean, creative content, quality of TV production, top. Say we're here, Ghana Premier League phone so quite super fantastic. Many idea, but I think there's more room for improvement. Ebekoso Adjei Bohyen to improve the league. If I say Ghana Premier League number 1, Africa attendance on some. Any incentives for players, and then I say, ensure all the referees, 280 referees are the Premier League, Women's Premier League, and Division 1, and full insurance to say no when they go into games, no, they feel confident. Because of Adjei Bohyen, Kajan young referees, so almost more boy Juma. With more investment, I think the Premier League now,
Angel. Okay, so with more investment, your Premier League, Ebeye Krabeshe, and your Rocket Edwin Simon Okraku, Nensamoa, or Datuja, and so our World Cup, no so dear, say Ghana, and your group, Croatia, Panama, and England, actually, games at that from Godwin Trump, a former Black Stars player, and then, or your coach, Sasu, a team owner. Edema a Trump Division 1 League or more dear pa. Dear say Gordon Trump 2006 World Cup qualifiers no Obobi Oshego Kra in the qualifiers no name the main World Cup no there want to me and Kobe or say Ghana group aya tomu no you betima qualify say betima deploy the right tactics no for the players there or you say Ghana e betima qualify.
It's a very tricky permutation, but I believe that playing against England is a little bit good for us because most of our players are playing there and they are used to whatever the players are doing. I think it's all about the tactics. If our head coach, which is Otuado, he planned very well, he studied the opponent very well, I believe that we will stay true in the group.
Okay, so Ghana prepare now your coaches need the right tactics no against your opponent you better qualify and no Gordon Trump and Otenenkano one of the assistant coaches Emma Otuado running and John Pinto the Juanju man John Pinto so say and you can say Ghana you underrated Obia because materials are Ghana one say ama complacency ama Ghana or say qualify for your group name.
It's a group that is very tricky. It is a tricky group, a group that Ghanaians cannot underrate. Forget about the names. It's a tournament that we are going. So I believe it's a group that will bring the best out of the team. Looking at our performance during the qualification, it was a very fantastic. And we have players who are equally very good that can stand any task. Which we believe that they are the players that we can put together, the players that can play to the highest level, even to be the final.
Okay, wait, I am some Ura John Pinto or they are Tuja Enso Ewoho Enra Abrante Kudus Muhammad and so Central for Edin Komo Ama Omu Bisano Ghana ni England no Sanse Hono Siakai and England and Ghana and so there was so many things in common. Ache say Enya Sam Ketwakra na Kudus Akasa say a come pa say Ghana qualify for the World Cup no and after England no so there was say Omaya Krado a ball eba ombebo ama Ghana for Niaje.
What kind of team will England face next summer? And the fact that you're not at AFCON, do you think England might even underestimate the quality of Ghana to a certain extent?
Well, their approach is their part of the game, but I think to qualify for the World Cup alone is a big statement from us and shows what we can do, so there's still a bit of time till that, so just focus here for now and then definitely prepare towards that as well. But it's good to have England in the group. Interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Playing against most of the players in the country here, so and some of the other guys that play here as well. So we are pretty much aware of the side we are facing and the quality they have, but we will definitely be up for it.
Wait, I am someone Abrante Kudus Muhammad or the Atuja and so about 9:30 Oniensia na for more and so Emrel our local stories no and so emu Mamefa Abasobodie pa and Konkoma Eugene Mart Travel and Consult Utie Enra and Koma Ekoso na Minister for Sports and Recreation Kofi Idi Adams warning Ghana for say menko tuesika emo bia keke tuesikama obia ujidi pa so obetimi aboa na World Cup no onso wako anyasa na obi ede wonsa hyebo ase enu ntina no pay make tell say 2026 World Cup so our USA, Canada and Mexico no accredited agency yebetima come ho asema kyerɛw omoye accredited for the World Cup no Eugene Mart Travel and Consult. Eugene Mart Travel and Consult. Ote say yene Don Summer ebon komo every America onwa and a facilitate ye pa and a Don Summer akodu America sabre or boy and komo hwama enya ketwa 2% utukwan na World Cup no ukohwe bi anase okwa amanone ba bia ekodi ujuma agency no Eugene Mart Travel and Consult. Last year on the best travel agency of the region. Not just enya sam ketwa kra o Kumasi ya or North Central so South Junction wa wone boogies and a ben ho ubetima frɛ Eugene Mart 0553 944 608 and answer 0547 74 0774 na Eugene Mart Travel and Consult and so no atwen komo na bibia so atimi akoso ye and so e de ma enti na sa e na etie quality enya na nko progression so
yes sorry no I hala da shishimane
Kedu Gasovin
Kedu Gasovin da shishima
yes
yeah
mona baso ye pa
mona baso
fireman
mona baso
say
I da shishima na
Christmas no enuna na mko hu experience ni bi Aponche a ya chichire na bo ho no. Nantwie
ayo. Nantwie no be di Christmas yi. And the man for bo mo banko.
De o he.
Akogye nantwie mu a. Ene nura no om de to saa trotro ka ni bi no om tutu chairs ni free.
Okay.
Ene o bedu ho a wo yi nantwie ate afa so.
Ni asema ba.
Chama bofu.
Nantwie mo nchire ho na enkoche. Ho na enko na nantwie nkopem no. Na oma chama odu enti ono a enam hu hia no no. O na dimirika ni nantwie.
Nanka pa agro. Twene so no den.
O se na me ka wa point na asem no.
Sa nantwie dia o de ne kwa ne ho ahomti. Nti o se wo pe Mayanka for no was
nantwie so ne hunye hu sa o. Ananka nantwie a young boy kete 16-year-old boy. Obetimi a lead and nantwie be ya say yi do mu free ya ba
experience. Yeah. How you kwa. Because the baby say me no be enu, ye me lead.
Ene sa ene ho na oni bo je na.
Ka tire o. I experience. So I just say nantwie dia o de ni mu a. Aya pe Mayanka ni o experience pa. I was akuta homa. So I just say na o de na di wachi. Yes, how they are. Nibufu no se mate praga.
Ene no anu agin.
Masa wafaka.
Agin se
obefaka.
Na nje ko si say otumeche no.
Oh, mi twamu ho de. Ba mi didi say de obechi no. Obechi no so obechi no.
One dina one
baby o de fire ne de obechi no.
Obechi no so no.
Hey, na akofa na ntwie de be di Christmas. Ba chichi na boduam na hu a obeja na manako.
Oh, dabi.
Enti nkrofo asase den we nim say du sa bre so akadu.
Gas stove no. Say ban sana kese no ne topa because Christmas on say for nuane.
Yes.
Hanti akese no no topa na dantemu no. E na say wo so to na no abusu akakra bi na mo so mo penketo abi. E de mo ya on say ye wo de ewa a esi wa.
Wa ye bi kama uhunu kra wa hwa anka nkire wo say ye kana ya.
Yeah,
ono aso da you.
Yeah, so no don say de bia ka so tu kwan ba. Okusua no ma bebre anti oba o ye no ma foforo what you say
okay
anti de sesema de say kroma de
ye tia no na ye bona baso na fi ya no pay ye recom obi a opese usua adwuma opese usua ensenu adwuma ono a wasi dan kama ena wasanso e ma baabi atena obema baabi ada ya sanso atua woka na o de asua adwuma tu nwie no na onsa no adwuma kutawa onso ko bie odi enti ye support ye ho sa na intimi nkoye because enra I listened to the Ashanti regional chairman the man NDC and he was saying say enuma no ama ono pressure kese pa aba no so
mabunu
no o say pressure e wo no so no nya pressure keto enti osre omo anya appointment ni say emo bia omo betimi e de support mabunu no omu ni adwuma no omu support omu kakra because pressure one so no enya asem ketwa and indeed unze ono obedi chairman ni nyina no ni fit e wa Ashanti region no NDC e wa Ashanti region ayekese from before 2020 oba no mkuta 3 seats and 2020 obeje call 4 seats and 2024 they are 7 seats enti etrese one so wide or a lot of people under him.
Okay.
And in the pressure and best pa.
Oman being concerned Oman penny JM ho.
Yeah.
That's a JM wow he said city appreciate here. Was the money mra ho. So city appreciate here.
Yes.
Also was a grassroots. Oh no I don't say the chairman of the party also called no. Of our voter region when you are doing your for request ya jobs.
Juma.
So mo peduma ye. Enu ne ma o tai o kai obeka say Ghana police near the ade no ombesi decentralizing no na call other regions num na yetimi aye recruitments near the ade from the regions because enkrofo hia adwuma.
Kwame adwuma da man fo hia. Na last time ne penny be so di nkomo aban no so enhye so say ono kwant mi fa Ghana fo nyina adwuma enti private sector no so omo amfankra no anya omo tima start bibi no aban ma nani nko ho na omo na omo nyuma na nya kase na omo ntimi fa ne pa bebre megum na Ghana fo nya adwuma ni.
I think that was the main reason the 24-hour economy no me gidi say eno ne ma Ghana for dodo na titiri ni business owners because now omuhu ni say eba beboa omu businesses no because aban so obema incentives o power o turn busumi bia no o say o special meter o deba obema incentives said e be ya e ka wo bo no beti akofem kakra is also saying say sick ahoden na wo o produce more na wontimi mfa adwumayefo a obeboa mo afa sa adwumayefo no betu o muka no mo dia show so business no ebetimi grow ebetimi akonani
Kwame na no kasa na sa hyase
oh enye hyase na budget ya
afenya afini
budget ya bai no na Matisse finance ministry so the cash call said the 24-hour call so said the kind private sector omne kuto man
ha nti with mama somebody do no ma fa do na no I think say how na say channel discourse no
because Dr. Kwako Tinwa there bia me ko ha meka
so what you say
hwe nipa boys enkrofo ba ho je se oba na ebi ade no anya hwe ko benya job bia la bi on tin enkrofo be go short time ni ade onti obi o ko school kra na o ne se ne time be on fanya hwe a
timbe ye one or two
no so anya kakra e atu no botom enti o se o ko ho a e won adani city adani kuro obi e paduma okoho o meduru fie no nso na onya bibi enti nye sa white collar jobs no Ghana ni wu adwuma bi adbema na sika be kon botom
here say oh get be free more
so the private sector as you said empower more
no Jack
no munyina o na so yie o be employ nipa bebre amuntimi mfa o
why how so
all right so and you bedi san komo no
all right wadaruma but papa wo ya Collins quick papa wo ya papa o papa nguda dey make bia won tiase
we papa firim
oh yenua ohene ba sare akire ya kokwase ohene ba sare ne papa da ho chese papa da ho ya Kwame taze be ya na ye be pen krabre nti make say e wo broni krom taze ya na ye ko pen krabre e wo manso data no wi a na ne taze no ya yi no e wo eye Kumasi girls nchen hwa eye action chapel hwa na Friday so asato aso aye yi no afi Saturday no yakoda se e wo True Faith e no so Kumasi girls nchen hwa nti ohene ba sare woni onuanom ene abusuani nyina ho pon kam ho sanse papa wo de ya me the team ba beta taze quality any present pa papa nguda de make
Marco bedase quality
company mangala enko ba be amfa say ye share ba ko na no muti karo so draw na man you lose e wan ye say ye kan gum anya keto akwa ma me hala name a won tobro so
no dey
na na so hala name tobro so ntino e sality say ne man so ye Manchester fans anti en hala no na ye resede no ma be say na tamfo
me fi am tie say me hwe Manchester ba ji say unhu se nkrofo ba no ye firi obi e be o scholar o scholar no ho anim
asebo
o scholar and no for no da so say obi e be ram bi o hwe anu ahwe manim no smile
say no about my baby
oh na ye
yeah my baby because
o me ye no
say be bedru baby right ha
e be jinsawu quality me da say nyankopon chira one maokudo ene de warm up sports e de ebreye no ene ye won komo bebredi e wo fie ha say nti wo so betimi adjoin the conversation Facebook Angel FM Kumasi 96.1 and afi so obetimi asende o voice amaye e o 0246677566 0246677566 so do voice no fa ha e bebo ni nyina nso e de ama na issues na ye di mo enkomo no e doso pa e wa ha enura e wo parliament say Pandai MP Honorable Matthew Yindam yentimi emfre ne say oye member of parliament ebiem because enura parliament officially omo notify electoral commission EC say on sha CCCA is an say vacancy aba ewo parliament nti na konya no ze de ka no no ma ka konya no e de abutuo ye hwe animu say EC ebe conducted the rerun ewo ne constituency of Pandai ho ne ahwe enipa o no ne bedi nkunim ewo abatu mate say the New Patriotic Party omo eko court ewo saa ensemi eho issue should be ebubo free mu ba na ebedi saa nsem no eho enkomo tariffs ekosoro TUC for say sika ne de yentua ne ntua tena Ghana Water any ECG entumu na no wo mo kan se nyame ya adoma 1st January 2026 wo mo ede be ya adwuma no Trade Union Congress TUC adwadifo wo man mu ase nyina wo mo nka bomu ku kese no wo mo se saa sika ntumu no a mampanyi ede eba no wo mo agitumu a enye yie o say disrespectful and unjustified yebedi sansem no ho enkomo wa ha sei na afi nso no enura mete se Daddy Lumba emsa fan mi enu nyina wo san kohia ebiem ewo manhia enti dia ne koso ewo manhia entoto ye ben ne firi ho ba kwasi pon anopai ho enti dia enura koso wo hia mu no mu bia no de ho nsem no join a live on Angel 96.1 and this is your Angel in the morning.
Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting for your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you. Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola. The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting for your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you. Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola. The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel.
And this is Have Mercy Part 2 featuring Sarkodie the Rapaholic. Nunti na nyankopon ya adoma ye de worship with the widows jumadi no e de ebrel. Obodin say obeye part worship with the widows. Alexis the Godson. Onim say annual ritual afibia eba. Afibia ye the worship with the widows jumadi no e de bro. And they say ekunafo asebe wo mo ekunu ma wu ade binum nso kra ye mema a wo mo yinum free mu no bremu aye de ama wo mo pa. Tie duru ha ye wachede bebre a ye tai e de ma. Me pese sa enhire won so beka ho bi ye de obeka ho ene se bibia owo bia a obetimi e de aboa worship with the widows 2025 say eye emo say eye garment entuma say eye oil anase soap ana bibia owo bia di chi obi ye bia obetimi de aba Pure FM anase obetimi de aba Angel FM ebejini nyina ne abobo no duru wa de ko che kunafo omo so abompaya ana e bia na wo de ani esika fam wo betimi ne Alexis the Godson abon komo e was 0247716364 0247716364 ene mo komo sesi e na so support na enshira no 29 December 2025 10 a.m. Pepe Grace Chapel Assemblies of God Sofola Bishop Labijima Eba Prophet Agaspar Prophet Samuel Adogbola and a lot of gospel musicians and super show up to be there and support worship with the widows 2025. Alright, say ya Nima Kwame Adjei Bohyen. Say good morning.
Good morning, Kwame.
Na impomba ko die.
Nyame adaroma etiapo me hoye pa no pe na me ugidi wo ready mo so won so hoye.
O nyame adom de nyambe ya no waye.
When say waye bibi. Waye bibi.
God has been good.
Yes, the nyame ase no pay for enkwan ene adom a wo de adom ye. Kwame me chia ye tifo nyina no pay. Da wo ma se utie ye. Ifidie ne do so pa iti se obi decide say anopa bia ha no de na fidie beto awia nwumra na bibia esomboma ye nti nyame insha wo no umie wo mafidie ni mu ema wo kama na wo ma bibia wo ye no nso enye yie wo se no ansuo no agugu kama wiemu adwo na minim se ne se de ekono no wiemu aye no ewia no be se ya pie pe mehu hwekọ animu a mekenkan ya mehu se ewia no be pie iti obi atotole ne ma ovice yie na yehwe ewia no boss ana etimi frefri nsuo ba anwumre bi wa anopa no na system no chese nsuo ni obad ewia no boa na asese nsuo no na edu anwumre na ate agunti drivers no anopa me chia o mo trotro taxi drivers long journey phone nyina adwobre o aya na baby ekwan ne ye no mudu won ekwan ne daso a na motia so kakra utia so am say ya na wa hwese obusa ho se obi cross wa ana bibi twamo wanimu a obetimi age wo nkwa age passengers ne nkwa na first question a o driver na utia so a na obusa ho se mirika ya bibi tisi manimu a betimi age me nkwa asave me life ene that of the passengers amedo omunam ya na se ansa no koye da bia na be ye den na kire wo se wo ya akododo nti to bo ase bre ukuduru na osan ba echese uyu good driver enye mirika tente no enu nkwa ne hia because one we na unya problem okwa we begina spend a lot of minutes sankoya hours it ya omunya abotre kakra na omufa passengers ne nkomra nyame be mo omunsa akoma no totrofo no nso same munya abotre na ntokwa na bitoda na mo ne passengers no ekono enye fe passengers ntina mo because utuka na wanya passenger bia amfa na da no obese petrol no obekofie ontimi nkobo akonhoma ebasa so achircho ebesi wo ne madam ntam mo amware no so savings no ebeye den ntia ya abotre passengers ni nti na mo ho saa na passengers so yenya abotre ma drivers no because yes sorry na yenya wo mo so mo ye adwuma baby obi ho fi eba kruma na okọ adwuma kwa be den so be nante nti passengers so nya abotre ma drivers no na yenyina no enye obi a wo ho ma ne yonko na yentimi en survive na ne ma enye kum anopai kwa me meka passengers ne drivers asem no adebi ho ma observe for some time now as a traffic situation a wo krum ha sisi ano eso enra from anopa be 10 echo 11 hono Kwame there was a huge traffic so be so kwa dum side o pese kwa askwa ho minim se bia na Friday near holiday ni ntia na traffic ne so pa o ekosi awia to wo nyina traffic ginam from Apipo Junction ha kofa suntreso ekofa be kwa roundabout traffic sa me fa patase ekosi santazo roundabout from wo ekosi askwa Kwame traffic so
even the dino so stretch no so sa
na che say as baby na traffic anwumre no from more no any more traffic no wo dey ba ejiramu sa o ebesi ahojo run about etremu dia ba be fada kodwom danger sa ho say petrol na wato kakra agu car ni mu a traffic nti ni nyina besa
o beni ugina faako
ni nyina besa ene ye ade ba ko ade ahokyere bre ni pado do no a because kakra na agu car ni mu no betimi dia drive akwa akire but traffic situation nti no obegina faako na petrol ni nyina esa menim ne bia city authorities abremu no mo hwese o mo beye there's another observation be bia empempi no bedru police for air direct traffic no bi o mu ginam so mo ya se light ne nya adwuma no mu gina wa menim told that it me traffic no a chance and a more movie. There's an appeal. I made to police officers in him. T2 MTT for now. Say be a traffic in Jumayana or more try to direct Sebebuama cast in flow no. Me say a do baby so omujina one side no say at the cinema na. Was a traffic light in the be so be a 1 minute. Na asaso be a green. But police for ni ejinana omuma kasa no half on so omo kwa na we monti so we echira ejina mu che. Etika mesa omo so omo director. My hair who my observe pa. So basa police for no air data traffic ne chance na flow but a light na ekwa it me movie a flow change say the officers na ye no it be as omuma half oni gina the number of minutes ye be mo ansa na mo makono comment so kakra it's an appeal
say traffic light ni ye adwuma dey ideally
make a situation
okay be a
light ni ye adwuma because mostly say traffic light ni ye adwuma the officers na ma I mostly it be kind in a situation traffic light na enso
okay
e be na ye doom light and there's a problem now officers na decide say ye nyina na ye money in flow adwempa say umba na fu but me hu say ya na the number of minutes na mo ma half oni gina no e che ansan be o mama we mu so aba nti it's an appeal so ma dwene ma so am draw my ometimi assess ahwe nanka say ye mu gina be 4 minutes ye nye 2 minutes na half no konti won say wo akire kura wonim say enche wo so be kɔ wanim na say ye be ka say we mu ne ba no obetimi adi mu san dada na onkɔ wanim it that's an appeal say ye ka ye ko December ye ready December ma enche Xmas say ba nipa do na e back room it ene ya wo bibi ton so a obetimi aba na wa beto say the be ya from 15-16 for no nipa na bo peso no men train say me train free 20 for na me back room abeto ade that time traffic no will be huge it we ye bibi ba kwa mi say ye nyina ye ya ebeboa ye na traffic ni flow no etimi aboa ye men ye abrante na covid type ofri abu akwa besra ko ofri ko mbisa say o ko ofri ko makwa do say me koto gari e no mbisa say na gari na abu akwa gari no say e ho de entu etimi ko ofri ko no makoto gari besra o ba bia wo no area ho no pe bibia to na ehia say chinchina age so ba dum o ba kejeti a memfo ka ama e ka ho na congestion no e huge no ade ko no ye no area ho ne be ya yenye na ema ye nyina no ye ho han kaka
okay talking about drivers in nura menya ntie say asuofu a
right
ama nma asuofu
a
Ubeza no pay you de dua. Ubeza na nazo ni asuofu a.
Oh
na fache me
wasane kama so 1.5 call it get ama problem 1.5
and then so asa brubro kosi
yo kita mi wi amaje
ade be yin say da
abubura kosi
ama nsoko buru nkoso hima na na mewache
pia o katachi
na mpombo kode
wo hwe sele mo asi asha abubura nkoso ya
ade be yin say
da yon shall grow no
na em say o chain no so wo heart bi eda so no wa o de den
me dia kuma papa nante
okay
good heart for walking
tia kuma
nante
okay nana enura e was suofu a onim say drivers no mo sabre ya na yetia na ye adwuma na drivers ni nyina nam street no so mo protest say omo nya adwuma na die ntia ma omo anya adwuma no nura me hu videos ni bi join your Facebook Angela FM Kumasi 96.1
Kwame, wait so just a second. Birthday, no. When you say man for do no be or more.
Okay.
There's a challenge.
Challenge.
Okay. I'm passing to say.
Okay.
It me a work to a bar. Yeah, the birthday wishes na every home.
Okay.
It is so be an or the birthday message by a challenge kakranti. Intimi farmer say to Toma yeah the beba.
Okay.
Yen
me dance. Yenko ahumano so na mene driver ba ko emonko but enura tie. The course ewo omo demonstration ase
yanya aduma police follow omo form car medicine omo ko yanya aduma
drivers are enra omo asufa so ohwe Facebook no so Angel FM Kumasi 96.1 na un say omo sesa niema edigu kwan num say de be ya ema kwan mu obi antimi enya adwuma nti nra anopa sabre nyina no na drivers no enya adwuma e wo suofua ene ne patabu no so manfo na omo ko babiri nyina omo na enam kwan so no ma me ne driver ni ba ko a oka won ho emon kom e friend Prince Boatin uduru asuofua de omo ta afre no Kofi Asamoah manya no e wa homa so Kofi oti enka ye mo ache
mejo so
na bibia e boko de
nyame na dom na mo so e
nyame adom ye ho ye pa
mekia chefu na
ye joso eno ye nya ne ntie se mo anya adwuma e ampa
ane de tie ne se adogo fo e wo asofia police fo a omo Kwame ene Bohyen ene asofia ene ye di mrabi a se ye ntie ase nti se ye de petition ekoi but ye de kwa omo nsan ma ye enam se police for na ye demonstration etia omuninti no ye kase ye de pa obi ani wa ofi yen nti endra ne de adwen se ye nya adwuma ye nya demonstration but ye nya adwuma ye ma kwan e ma trotu bia emfa nipa emfresu ofia enko esan se station ye gina ye lodu nipa edikokuru mu no motimi ye gina o ma ye lolly terminal amaye na salary terminal na mo ye no so no ye do ko inside ho no na private cars na o ma je store inside no o ma park o mo cars ama ye o nyina ma mo de won so ama pragia for e ho e na o mu lodu na che trotro no ye kwa ye nya ba bia ye begina se ye fa nipa na ye ba so e begina kwa no se ye fa bia na o mo de van abe cross ye acheche akosi swame ana Sofia say adenti na ejina saa ekwan no obi abaje store e wo kwan no na abaje store no
say ya hwere a prince e wa homa no so oye driver ni aye ne no e bonkomo e wo asuofua enura de esi ho ama wo mo anya adwuma no na reasons ni bi ho a obobo so e de atre na chese station na ya ye de ama wo mo no omu ntimi nkogina ho enti won ntimi nyina ho de a ogina kwan no e na elodi o lodu so ana ya bechem say wo bumra so because so say ogina station lodu no kwan say ogina kwan lodu aha say de mra no te
no say kwan nche so bi age ne store ne wa bi enti ba enti ba nyina bi store anim
because who say enti na person bi san say ho no om de ye say yemfenye car park yemfenye station ana say yemfenye there because say de ye say yemfenye station ho na ye station wo ho de ade enti na ye ma kwan ma private cars and your commercial cars be park no more space ni nyina na drivers ni ntia ye ho de ma wo no wo mu enya baabi nyina enload
Kwame area ho no baabi kro na o ka no me ni enko so yintimi hunu on say ye wo baabi a omo ya di market say as a station cars betumi abe park wo ho aye waiting o utimi gina e twen passengers e fa wo mo e na ye wo baabi a omo ye ne say that as a bus stop duru a utimi gina ma obisi obi gina ho na wafa no but anya ba bia ye kotwen say ya park cars no wo ho eche ya either ugina o passenger gina ho na wafa no within seconds or passengers e bia mesi eti ho no ye just bus stop ne o bus terminal o mu gina etimi load ntina am gaza we no minhunu minim ho ni ye papa nti ama mihu eti either say ye ho no mo ma o mo say ba bia mo betumi abegina atwen afa passengers and for the one my car parking. Omo parking lot omo parking. Why na ma omo kwan is it assembly or some metro society and the wa ma omo na.
Siki ayi ewaje. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Chief ya mo akwa babiem.
Yeah, so.
Kafra ayi humanity. Na ehwo no baby a mo say no. Na ehwo na ye mu station ya yese yemfenye station for more and more commercial no and say ye just obi store nim na mo pechi wo keke
ye tiene say no na ye gina ho lodu na nye obi store nim na trotro for ye party elodu efe nipa ho na nipa ni gina ye form akwa adwuma ena mobile say mobile lonely terminal kese amaye enti sisi ano ye nyina ye mewura yin
well I'm say ne line no ebe high but yen try say betimi assign a connecting bi na watching much because no ehia me pa say ya ye terminal foforo de ama no mo decide say bia o mu nyusu ho no ana say aha say because first na no mu gina elodi enti enhihye ya de amom so mu nyina ho lodi ana say omo baby anko mu begina no mo decide say
omo mpeho yeah because drivers ni bi was suban no so say baby ko na de amom no hu ni say okogina ho a onya passengers eti ya na ye kan say baby anka ye di market say passengers betumi agina na car na eduru a omafo no passengers ni enkogina ho ti baby a na passenger na agina driver ni no so hu ni say o sign na ho ko na nim say passenger na ma wan hwa ni nua bi ebebe abegina na chi afa no eti na baby a passenger agina bia no ana ya kan say nka passengers so enko baby a e demarcated for say ho na car ni duro betumi agina eti ka baby a wo passenger no baby a wo pe bia wo gina car bia no wo duro wo be stop ebe ma passengers no ye nyina ya adwen say aha na yegina fa car eti say zebra crossing ya research that ho na yegina twa kwan mu eti mu duru ho no na wo gina ho a car duru ho no mu baby traffic light car duru ho kwa na dipa mienu miensa enko o peja mo nsa kwa na mo signal o say driver ni gina na mu twam sa anya sa na wo gina baby a so pese o twa kwan mu driver ni no on few because ho ya car kwan enya baby yegina enti ka mu ko gina baby o so wo gina na car ni duru ho a o be gina say dipa o ha mu twa kwan ni mu same way say ya ha na ya ye ne say mu be gina bus stop eti passengers Kwame wona mo ga mu duru ha na mu be gina mo ntwen car no driver ni duru ha no a be gina ho dan say baby a drivers ni be gina eno no one major challenge eno me hu ni say no na this ane ma na ba say ya anye ya adwun say baby a o si ejane be gina na baby a passengers no wona na be gina the problem beba
okay mamen clear we na yen opani me achimbi enti na wo kire mu atere yen say eho no station a ya sheda ye de ama mo se munyina eho ene ye de ma mo se munyina
ye tell say Sophia Trotro for Nankeseno. Just me a chrome, you miss station. You miss station, yeah, you chrome and yes, Sophia. Lemon, ya bar, you drop on, I want any panel gina, ya found. And so for life for any bay station, or no much do so for life. And I have so what you do, who are inside that. No one, no one. Le mo mu be so fia de a omo ye no kwa no wa anim ho e na wo bedu a e lie udi so a na wa lodu udi lie no so a na wa lodu udi lie no so a eduru so a na wa lodu e na mo be ye terminal si ho e mo se e kwa no ye gina e the traffic ba enti ye ba me ye nja kwa no ubi ye na ye ko wura inside na ye lodu eso da inside ona omo ye say ye ko wura wa ye lodu no ube wura ho no na omo ma jeje stores on private cars any other private cars o ma park on e ho nyina ye ma la plagia for to jira ekwa no wa lodu asamai mo di omu nyina so asa ko wura inside ho e ma omo so elodu asamai no inside ho amo amaifo ene akiase ene sa corona bimbe Sofia ni nyina mo de omu nyina station akwa ko wura ho enti trotro for no ye wura wa ye nya ba bi kura enjira elodu enti yeso ekwa no na ni ejira lodu first no ene ye ba ne ya be jira ho ne elodu ujira ho na ulodu a na omu di police car every swame aba cross no matter track any na do swame omoko a 5 million no makwajo no majaw enyumle kwa uje olodu a na police car be cross ya kwajo ska yesu station am de ba ye no private cars anyway and aje wo nyina fa
minim more challenge here mo win mo nim panifo because say no say Mona munya baby a mugina mulodi. Muni mpanimfo atena se akasa e wo ho because de o kan no enye ne papa mu nso so begina kwan no lodu because ho kwan no enye kese bi asa. Enti se wo san so gina fa lodu a eno ne ma sa traffic ne bampatamu oni nyina no eba no. Enti muni mpanimfo akasa se monso mu hia baby a mo begina mo be lodi na mo de abakrum because monso ho na munya mo no aduan mo na mo di sa ankomo no.
Mepacho this year or empatemo woman be at the store oba ujra enche ka no o meye no mbe mu kakra enti ne other side right side ono space ba o kakra se sabe bi lodu efriku ebe dress ofia na obi nsu gira kwa no kwa dan kwa me no no so apake wo no wa head wafano no de ko no wa gina ho alodi no de ko adan kwa me sele eja o de ono ni ge so this na ma ye de container abesisi so because of nipa ba ko store a waje no ye na ye gima cha road work no nipa ba ko press store na waje no ye wa ba ye the container abesisi o a this eno di animu eye sa won enti se impenifo aye no mo ono oka omufi because of say you mikamophobia and you say bia yen kan ya ka and we say commander e ba aye no ye ka kire ni say and you say bia yen tu wana mo impenifo ne ya we and impenifo no so and ye sa impenifo no and ye sa ye ka kire mo omufi no ma say ye sa. Oh, because of see any camouflage. In Chandra, the no. Near Peso Moon says, Sabe, young I know, and the Jumana, and I know that my annual Jania is. And she say, I know Jumadia, Sabe, will you so quite Jumaya, I didn't quite Jumano. And to say, I know Jumadia, Nipano, on and say, no cocoa, no quite Juma.
Okay, Kofi, jina so mame me san ba osisi mame nkwa ahoma so biem na me ne honorable Osekwaku Michael we assembly member ewo Asufia Asama ye no ebo enkomo honorable te yankan mo ache
me go so many na mo to say
na me adom ye ho ye jiri so nso ho ye
na me adom ne ho ye ba
yo ye ne ayi drivers a on ewo we Asufia na ebo enkomo yi enra yete se omo etena se omo anya adwuma fiti anopa no minim se o ya wa
na me ya we na me ni ho na me adom na me kutu kwa ko Burkina anopa ya ka mitim na minti Angela Matisa mo kan se ya me yesem person be so mo di dwuma na de na me yo be na o twini na me free ho
okay
na abrantie na sama o kan yenkum biafo ni bia Nana no chim say the term na more aside the term na no e dey ama private cars.
Sure.
Yeah, term na ni wie no. I pay see the drivers ni na ekọ. Ne drivers ni bi ka chem say me ni car e na my term na sem person me dey here adwuma. E jimen koto cars e me gu term na ho na term na ho de omumura ho ne na omawura ho china. Nana ekosua nsana ye ba beto aba former DC Rebecca ebo ane press ene bi temna no ya pre o papa nenka driver we se o mugina kwan no kra na nko o sanlai no won chen ama o mo etwa manya kwan akọ ene akọ ne aba akọ a enka problem bi eni o bo nse ba akọ hye kwan no na we ya bi dina na we minim so twa mu asufu acha traffic omo course no asufu a anopa ne enimre no
anokre
na enya asem ketua edimini na okasa no minim no ba asem a oka bia no e nokre say e station na mo no ya jama private cars mon konti na drive private cars no omonya akwanya omoko park ho so my ready some obekọ a enya dia private car bi bekọ akogina ankra ye bi sisi kwa no DC ba no en say DC wo se be ya omo entumi enyina ho enso still ano omo ebigina ho
na ankre kra na yehu so omo abun omo akeka ni na omo ni na afro
so eno wo kase wa company for me office wa sufu a kromo na meti atem me ho driver fu bi amfa petition bi ma me ho so no bo ade a ekosu high intini be a quansi na fasuna fasuna boy. Have any beer no bamiho. Enti minim kofia samoano a okasa ne asama asabi o kan from be agu sabi krom mpanimfo ehun fi say as dava fo so freso fo a omo ye nuan mo ye ma omo ye adehye yentumi ntu omo no aduane ni ye tan asem ye ntan nipa isu omo da na di ewu krom ye all can angel dava ni be fa so do bakagiti a anopo izi omo ludu anopa awko space no ma babushen no ma bajanshi ansa no ma kokiditia ye mia ho ya kan no atu ye nka ho hwe o si police ni beti unyina yi na police ni ati wa use guarantee so wonya adwuma no obi kofoka akwa adwuma wo anya adwuma ntu maka bia anya adwuma o dem na ahyɛ nsɛm a wo yɛ saade on dimi kofi asamwan minim no ba mi tukwanamenam kwa mu a nyame adom nam kokodura ye ne mpanifo bi hia ye ho kwa befa so e be address this issue.
Because they say no baabi akoduru no enema mienu se ekwan no ho de omu ntumi nyina ho etiamra so omu begina ho aye adwuma enti wo se baabi a omu begina sei no a omu betimi alodu da bia no and ho no se epedema na se baabi a o ka se wo koye o ye wie no bo omu amane so omu mra omu an decide so omu ma
na me na me ka kire krom ho food na di adanse tem na no edaho eti ho da ho nti na private cars no
no obie nyina ho loadi
omo nyina ho loadi
private for no decide say no omo begina ho nti say wontimi kotu no
private phone dey betimi atu omo afiro se drivers na ready so omo beru ha private car bi no no hospital as kakraka da wa omo do omo cars e be omo betimi akopak ho amatem na no aye adwuma e be boy.
Okay. Mate, honorable Yadwase, nyame emfa emedru asumdwem na oba yebebon komonso.
Amen, that's.
Okay. Honorable Osekoku Michael, assembly member, was Sufu Asaman na ene no akwakobo enkomo no. Nete se ade ni nyina aye baako. Ene se baabi a omu begina na omo aye adwuma. Ene se drivers na je atum se omu begina ho na omo aye adwuma they are fine. Assembly no so utie honorable asemi o nso aye ready say omo de hobema on no mo agina no mo aye adwuma na driver for na on say ya na suban bi wo mo ho ye de hobema mo begina aye adwuma no ebi ba begina kwan no alodi afi obi a be na dwen say kwan no na ogina unya nipa ntem tiafo mu nyina be say free station wo no ma sa begina kwan no na ama traffic a echi ewo asuofu ha no na afi ano ekosoro nti ye nyina ye nimra so de mra no hwehwe afiri ho no yesa pepepe o yesa obi a mfamra eme tetew ewo maimu asi. All right, so meba se na yaba bedi enkomo ewo studios as we have a special guest in the studio. Dr. Anthony Insiasare is our special guest anopay yeneno ebebo enkomo, former presidential advisor on health and a special guest ewufia yeneno ebebo enkomo meba se ni akomanhia kwasi pon aye krado ewo ho enura Daddy Lumba ayie no 13th na ebeba so ana se emaso ana yentu aye ni hyeda ana se abusuapani wutimi koyi waye enti nyame ya adom a weekend ye hwe ni mu se Daddy Lumba ayie no beba so ana se emaso kwasi pon ewo standby me ba se sie ni akono.
Hey, boys, how about Pescami? Guy, and one qua, check out them. Many are the working in our mate.
Being that initiative, I think that is something that we all must support. And it does not exclude the global north. For countries that understand the need for justice, I think they all can support this new initiative, that the new order should give African countries a greater say on the world's multilateral financial institutions. It should give Africa a greater say in the international multilateral bodies like the United Nations, so that we can be equal partners in determining how our world order is presented.
And finally, what do you want to say to the Chinese audience when you look ahead to the next decades of China, Ghana, as you said, solidarity and fraternity?
Well, I wish the Chinese people well, and I believe that we can continue to work together, especially in new areas of innovation and digitalization. China has worked hard to gain a comparative advantage when it comes to green energy and transitions, digitalization and innovation, artificial intelligence. And so I think that there's the opportunity for new partnerships between us and China. And China's transformation and development is an inspiration for all of us.
Your Excellency, President Mahama, thank you so much for your time and your insights.
Thank you very much.
President Mahama of Ghana said that he thoroughly appreciates China's role in bringing about...
We discussed many areas, and 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 one of the areas we discussed was trade between Ghana and the areas we discussed was trade between Ghana and
Mahama arrived in China on October 11, 2025, leading a delegation of Ghanaian officials as well as business representatives.
Samba.
has made quite serious advancements in accelerating women's empowerment. That's admirable. And I believe that we should be proud of what China has done. In our country, we're trying to push women's empowerment, and I think that women have made very serious advancements in Ghana too. Women dominate business and trade. And so when you come to the area of commerce, marketing goods and all that, women dominate that sector. In education, like I said, more women are going to school and staying in school.
Located in West Africa on the northern shore of the Gulf of Guinea, Ghana borders the Atlantic Ocean to the south with a coastline stretching 562 kilometers. The country is rich in agricultural, fishery, forestry, and mineral resources. From the 15th century onward, Western colonial powers invaded coastal areas of present-day Ghana, plundering resources and trafficking enslaved Africans, leaving the continent under the shadow of colonialism for centuries. The Bandung Conference in 1955 marked a turning point for Asian and African national liberation movements, which accelerated the collapse of the global colonial system. In 1957, Ghana's independence ignited the first torch of freedom in sub-Saharan Africa and came to be known as the Dawn of African Awakening. In February 2025, the 38th African Union Summit was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, under the theme Advancing Justice for Africans and People of African Descent Through Reparations. At the summit, President Mahama called for a new wave of awakening across the African continent.
You gave a very powerful speech at the 38th African Union Summit, where you talk about the fact that perhaps there should be another round of Africa reawakening. You talk about justice for Africans and people of African descent, repatriation, not just in financial terms, but there are 3 R's that you mentioned, restitution, rehabilitation, and guarantee of non-repetition. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Africa suffered 2 serious crimes against humanity. The first was the slave trade, and I believe that that was the greatest crime against humanity, where between 12 and 15 million Africans were taken from Africa to the Caribbean and the Americas and Europe. And their labor was used to build what today is modern Western civilization. This labor was unpaid labor. They were not remunerated for the work they did in the sugarcane fields, in building the railways, in building the roads, the bridges, and all that. We believe that first and foremost, it should be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity. And we must condemn the activity of slavery. Of the people who were shipped to what I call the New World, that's the Western world, estimated that as many as 2 million did not arrive at the destination because they were either too sick or they died on board and they were just tossed over into the ocean. That was genocide, you know. And so it's an issue that the first step is for us to accept. And so Ghana wants to move a motion in the UN next year asking the world to recognize the slave trade as the greatest crime against humanity. And so we'll continue to push. I'm the African champion on reparations. When I spoke even at the UN, I raised the issue of reparations. And so I do think that that is to do with slavery. With regards to colonialism, the Berlin Conference partitioned Africa, and the European nations took colonies in Africa, ran those colonies, exploited the natural resources, and transferred those natural resources, oil palm, gold, minerals, cocoa, and other products, you know, to develop their countries. And it's only from the late 50s that countries like Ghana got independent. And so that was an injustice. Colonialism was an injustice against African countries.
You expressed admiration for the founding father of Ghana, Nkrumah, multiple times, quoting him.
All right, so live on Angel 96.1. Mamen sign ko asuofua ahu na menye adwuma kitwa bi ewo ho nana Frimpong ewo ahoma no so from asuofua ono nso ese obibi ka ewo nkoma yedi yefa drivers ne hono so mamen hwesemetimi ne na bonkoma nana wotemen ka me mo ache
yeah ro
na empombo ko de
adum mpai bo mi ko na no so
nyame adum yenso ye ho ye pa say yeso obibi ka ewo ye nkoma yedi yefa drivers omo enro omo anya adwuma e wasuofo e ho
nana minia Yes, me wo car ni bi wo Sufia. Me nka car ni bi. But me an wo trotro ni bi wo pan so.
Oh, okay.
Aha. Ye mi hu wo Sufia ne say. Ibra no pa wo ko station pa. Wo mo loju kotek no mo di 11 cedis. Yes I lie. Time so awa befu. Wo mo ko kejiti ayi 6 cedis. Yes I lie. E wo station pa wo. One more question for life, CCD. But one more back room. And I'm saying, one more person, one more J. The only PBN, you know, we do not have a school, we got a month, we got a cocoa space, we got a bush. Until the new West, room, that's what I can say, all over the street in my Johnson, 25 cities, no. One problem, no, yes, I be a station on a panda station or power, bar, Umbenya baby, Gina.
Okay, into on person omo bawa it omedru asuofu omedru I junction no na 5 cities no anya brosa
problem ni na no yes say bia station on the panda station o panda ho pa
yo nana ya dase papa nyame nka ho waso no trotro no obi anti onim de
bebo so pe ni adroba
basa says no mo ye ne den
say sa wa kan bi says me he be
ko say omo tum ana say de omo je na omo je kwa be say omo say omo ye ne daily de bia no 200 cedis ano na de ba eti sa na omo ye no de ten say drivers no omo na pesika na go mu botomu enti yema na nan confirm say sika no say de adwuma ne kono de bia no sense ne gina ba bi gina ana say every
nana we de kafra enti say de wo kan no say the load from a hono a day by junction 5 cities.
5 cities.
Nam say nipa person when yes can be can huntino wa load obesi to be omedru a junction kra na be okuta be 10 cities. Tibasa mo car owners no moya dem mo to o say sinu mu ana.
We are there koka. Gentlemen carry. I say nothing na matter bia me monitor on but onye na bien say odi say sinu France be ka.
Enti say bia utiri yie na de kubu ofro car no akofro de. I say nipa no bo short any obedru fie dia wo evidence.
Oh, no evidence but me ka hwe anyi me ka me ka hwe anyi.
Say basa zo musumu say traffic is so timiche wo mu because o timito traffic mu. It's mean so timi affect wo mu. And like you say on the day bi o wan hwa adano ye ka traffic situation bi o betimi anya problem bi ana bi betimi na wo anya sika kra wo expense obenya no it was so no ade ni bottom dey bi a wa save ato wo so ba na me wa
minua adwuma o me France oni dey wa be ka kire say the way nya o since na won kind of free
I see say the end dey be bo ano
oh me am say me am go trotro ni
okay
anti me wo catch them so when you see around
okay
nana
yeah there be an trotro there but trotro le tom le bia na sa bi na abrepok room e question fia afwe so be 5 6 and I'm catching so we there can you be kwantoa me ka ya wa na o catch them say ni nsi for
Nana, that's it. Nana, Frimpong, I don't know. Can you Rose Internet Solutions and am I a dedicated internet service, home unlimited internet service, or business unlimited internet service? And now, so per se, I'm out here live video streaming. Is a drana dua. I would have done and go for now. Live video streaming. And I draw me TikTok or me Facebook. Hey, go for an 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Then go for that so to streaming live on Kwan.
Was internet enough?
Matese Nigeria, me who statement to be a minim I can't verify, but Matese Nigeria almost say because of sa content almost show nansana videos be ba TikTok ni ado almost show some content who say who he hasn't go so show also ne ade the Matese almost life no almost say almost the sunshine be but so muntimi in their life something like that and is it the social media?
So we are meeting the sanitizing system, no, in terms of so person streaming be live.
Is it go for be so man no ye weird man nanajo
or the no
streaming 1 a.m. not
streaming.
And to pay internet, there are streaming in Kenny Rose Internet Solutions. Your Ashtown, Ashanti New Time, EcoBank, and for 02082828810. 02082828810 na eno omo emon komotisi ya base microcredit omo na mai sika me de bia ama bronya imu hu sika kofa na ma de abegu store num so num ne ma no krofo se ekofem ebia ye dada den so ka tire obia enkrofo because nipa no ohia wa de odi kan se kom de no don't mean koka so music enkoto ne ma mu store
dabi
oh yeah de koka
dabi
enti ene bills emum fa no yonko okwa ono misa say sika sen na awo sika sen na o deposit wo ho ana se baby account to be ana ko fa bibi besi awowa all you need is your Ghana card or the Ghana card ba cash be here biano bills micro credited be my friend was 059692 0833 0596920833 na eno emon komo obi a oye so ope cash na me ka chento on free bills phone and I'm the number say kwa me pebusia and I'm the obedi o ka james me ma busia
ope personal one uti ka e ka bo wan ka mabiu
what dey come
unya bi ma na ka bekam
it is o me na ye ma you o bua frame ya sika do so we hear sika
this no wonder it no come so konso a omo be sort
uti ate Rumbi basu utiate.
Oh, ye ka sika kwa me nko no munya sika ni bi munya sika ni bia sisi awofo ndodo na kuta nkwada enne wanya wo bakwa na akotama na wo mu amamefo ne papafo ni nyina no wo mu hia sa afe no ko na wieye no wo mu sesa wo mu ntade ma ya ne hia pa ntade ni bi wa hya ache wo de akwa adwuma de kwa sorry eduru ba bia na wasesam wa pefofo de aka ho anopa mami ni o manim na memfo mo nko sister Kidi Glamour sister Kidi Glamour we amaboso yi Kumasi he ya ahojo Atenga Junction ho wo de unya duru Atenga Junction a omo na China mall no ene de anu hwe on say ye wo Fidelity u movie de akoda abankwa no so na Fidelity ewo nsabunkum se wo say sister Kidi Glamour fe dan kese boanimu yesiesie ho omo nko no omo nko je niema eti entare de ode sha kwa adwuma de ode trantemfie de ode kwa sorry ode kwa abedin to ponto dwuma bia wo pese wo satare de kodi bia wo ye oba wo ye be ma mofra ne de sisi mofra ne ho oyo awufo bi o mu wadwene bi kura se so siesie de ba ho ma ne ye fesen ono kura na onya respect eye papa ma oba ne ho nya fe obi ehu na obu dansa wo oba tan no wo de bia no wa kan se na oba ho atete apo esa na enye subampa monko sister Kidi Glamour na monko ye shopping kama ebo no so wo form ene ma no obi ho na wa fa afuru listen no o de fa ko ho nkora ne ma ni nyina from A to Z ni nyina nkora ho ne ma hodo ni nyina wo ene nkora de omudi ko school ni nyina wo benya bi eti ko na ko to bi entade ne mpaboa kumade ahodo edi sesi wo mo ho no ni nyina benya ma montade no echi mpaboa ene bags ahodo no ma so de wo ho leather watch watch no chain anasa leather on sabeka bi sanso ena shoe no papa shawo obi ahwe won say akwewe ye guy Kwame de na no na so ni say usu say eja wo mpa ni nyina bi ewo sister Kidi Glamour ma chewo ba bi omo me say Atenga Junction woni China mall no edi enhwe ofiwa na okọ Fidelity Bank sanso na ahensan so one China mall no edi enumhwe ahensan omo edan a Don Master wo mu na oben ufiwa na okọ Kumawuman Ura Bank ufiwa na okọ wo so on number is 0245 749 199 0245 749 199 hensa number no so 0538 333-937 0538-333-937 yanko na yesisi ho ema ye ho enye fe na hima usom on na ma me monra ALS Global Shipping and Logistics Limited because enyama na ho asem tinyama na ma fo kra de ba no obi a wo kra nyama de ba bia ALS Global Shipping and Logistics omo ene be gina mu eyi nyama ni nyina free port e de ama wo bia wo pesa wo de biara omo de be kwa ama wo eyi nsuo so eye poso ena wode na ma wode ba na se eye asase kura na wode free ba wode omo se ewiem ena wode number obeyi e de amam asempa 8 a eye container no eye full one ana se eye kakra bi ne hu ni nyina omo so ombeyi ebedu porto no omo eklema wi na pese omo adigu kam e de ko ba bia pese wode ko mawa eno so ombeye se adwuma no ama ALS Global Shipping and Logistics wono eben Boankra Inland Port na osan eben hwe so asam ana mekanti udu ho a obekọ no bi office no fefe o phone number 02433 14438 02433 14438 or say email at alsshipping.com send so say ALS Global Shipping and Logistics there ubodi na no waje so simplifying shipping
ya what 3-bedroom house ya ha air condition ya ni nyina ne bo so wa ya fam wa ya bijan kwanta atonsu kwana hia so saada ye de nka Mr. Kensford wada horoma ka wo de wo koto wia ma menye fa na menye do pra Kensford ntiribu ho ade ka class me kasa milinsa wa ade ntiribu ho ade ka class ai
dara to aso nana to aso
nanka ya honto e kakra na kuwa dufie ya hane ya bro ya bra papa enti wada horoma me kan se milinsa wa
ya do pra
dodo pra wo de mi yi ho yie mana no
eneka wo de de na bedo ade na kan bedo
sa me wa yi ya ho
da bi wo de na bedo
be de kakras
be da se na to aso a
me de kakras bedo don't so fie wura de ntiribo ade kakras Kensford de kakras so bedo enti me kan furu ama sa de bo ya from 0244 448204 0244 448204 ana 0532 395841 amanso bia naso ne yede ne dan ono ne se bibinti oton na de enti se otini se amanya wadwene se amanso yaso midima for back na Dr. Tam yaso doctor se yan kan tro se be ma so abre na ra wada no ko yi o se yensu esigugu ye awurade a Ha, oto yeso.
Joey. Ha. Na no pe sorry na adwuma.
Chai, be the fan who kura to wine. This is so Kwame unua ba me mpa no trentu ba benya ba bi ada.
Okay.
Nya fero obedampa me anwa mi ana obeti atompa no trefa.
Zeze nkura na free so.
The way you invite Kwame ana.
Aya Kwame ba, Kwame dia.
That's also ba, wo se Kwame ba.
Papa me le
vacancy abempa.
Admission ya ho.
You. Afre akomni nchire mu na dey.
Says mpa no ma talk as here wa be benya ba bi ada. Wo so me yankura bra be rest.
I see.
And it is a woman so na so be ma so amede me mpe me mpeketoa. Me pani emu oduru anopa me ka. Ko doctor ha na be twetwe. Ade anu mu oduru sa na se wo wone na 3 days. No jina ho ne be fro se be ma. Ene ye wi aye misa chop money o sorry akọ ba bi am ya ye nkate kwan kra ne mutu am wadi. No ye keto sa na o sani twetwe wo wo me pa cho. Yempe kura kokura doctor ntwetwe stroke ya de diabetes beba unso ntinyin sereba for richirabu akwa go doctor ya ho 0244 774282 ye ma source of weight yo asondem so me no metonyom
na say won sore be 9 sisi so ye say afibia sisa sore eya yo tu say ana say
na no dia assemblies ni me yakwa bo afode
say what do
assemblies of God
yakwa bo afode some ko bantam harvesters
eda foku anopa utia me mwache
harvesters no be ko
eda foku me mwache
chanye na so fo age no
me se be che eda foku
bantam nyina bia ni some ko harvesters
na uko ede assemblies of God
say yakwa bo afode
okay
harvesters
to me invite
me your guests on
eda foku yawe
papa man kan kire no
asamba madami
Oka vacancy asem no yemfa the Ghanaian Times newspaper no share no say vacancy declared in parliament following court ordered Pandai rerun. Interior Minister orders probe into alleged assassination attempt on SP. VIP calls on African leaders to strengthen health system. Ghana, Burkina Faso resolve to strengthen bilateral cooperation. I am committed to building better Ghana. President Mahama reflects on December 7, 2024 post.
Yo, I don't pay Katano, your body passo, and some of the abano, and I ye chichini na aswamwano pay. Na Ghanaian Times, Katano, and someone a woman a Kwame Adjei Bohyen na Mampenyi John Dramani Mahama Mfonyi da and or say or no. While we are bogu so babu ami achichire Ghana, amanafa ntuma pa efra. Enone asema mampanyin di aba na akata ebo amaneze mpanimfo say Ghana na Burkina Faso mino panimfo atansa twetwe nkomo aka se woka won tam eba mu ebeboa papa amampuntu akoso ye man Ghana mu ne bi ebekọ so ewo Burkina Faso mino so emu na mampanyin abedi eche nso de ato bibire amampanimfo anim se ba bi eginan apomodea na eboaye ya pomodea ne ye manfo timi ye adwuma ema oman no fa ne to ma preferenti o kan kire omanfo se yankeka ye humbom ne ye hwese esisa ye do toto akwamu a ebeboa ma ya pomode agina brane no ye behwe na ye di so na special prosecutor ne fo nyini da ha na nsentamu na adwuma ye fo no ba ko be kan se hwe omanfo so ya no mo kade mu man ko bie na ehu bie fo no omo se kise jabe wonya hwe wo se nyame nkwa na fa akwamu be se mprenu e kan krofo age papa ne nkwa afri ne se na ngofo se kise jabe ada wa ye den wo se hwe secretary asese no pro ye anti obi hu se wo hwe ni nsemu pe no mo pa ayu afri ho na nsam ne ba ye no ene ye se onumunyamfo muntaka mubarak one na so ye ne se sa asem no omo ma ne ntwamu saa omo be ye hwehwemu na nipa bia ya se ya mpa se bibisa akoso de o se chiri no amra ene sa nipa na di Ghanaian Times nsam o de be ya no pay
ehia sasa me da akokran so ono nso ayi police for be 17 ebe chill
omo che no agu ne hankofu nyina
hankofu asoto no ko bo no ama ne yemre
na ono ne de ni say no na me pese ka minyana me bisa na say eye de pote
ena
ye aha na omunim say ye wono a ana na omunim say ye wono a but na omu fi say bia
wa ye bibia na omu no mo chiche no mo ko
every person fi say na e bisa na say we say ye hu ade ko ntia
investigation because no say wa checking the records nyina bibisa assassination attempt be announced sabro no a o kan no
we be kan so say same eso kan say omu bisa no kwa say na asamo no kisi die no ye hwehwemu ozo omu ye hwehwemu to some point and I say as e bae na no bia omu ye so omu ye hwehwemu na omu say ja ikire di say the interior minister can because asamo ati say ni die kan say ye wo bia docket bi da ho a ye hunu say ye investigation ye shase free ha e ko see ha say ye den ye jai ye e was say ke ye hu bibisa but ente be enko ye say ya kan say comfort try say ko mu be ku no when there's no evidence to the effect say you report it is that comfort try but ye jai e chiredi say ye mfa ne sa na papa ne nkwa no e hu hia na that is a question I hear.
So here say you set up a committee to investigate it,
right?
Until me did say same da akobeko na wakwa kodi adanse no the evidence aba further and better particulars no there two issue no so and now ka pandai so enra yenya ntie say sabre the clerk of parliament wa confirm say wenya letter from the high court say Pandai member of parliament Matthew Yindam ekwan a ye fa so ayeto aba no yanto e wone kwan so enti court na say electoral commission sign enkoye abato nhihye foforo hobiem na womo ento aba no womo notify parliament so agye atum enti enura womo abeye ho adwuma e wo parliament ene I can say Honorable Matthew Yindam so come right be defie no akra na yi mama yarga say yempam no kra mfiri fiase o say yempam say yenya yidi a wo say sabre kra yempam no because the question the sana mo kan say ne onyam na chebe dwani di a yempam no mfiri mra chebe defie but Honorable Alexander Fenyo Markin say one tiati because omo kra is a new patriotic party no omo e de asem no e wo court
to serve the interests of whoever, that their actions and inactions to serve the interests of whoever their paymaster is, has the tendency of destroying our peaceful republic. We will not mince words. They can conspire to call us one by one for a so-called contempt of courts. We are criticizing their shameful conduct. We are not afraid. We are ready to be in Insawam for their so-called contempt. The world will see that disgraceful conduct. We will not sit aloof and allow them to undermine the very rule of law that they are supposed to protect. How can a judge who calls himself a judge sit in court and misconduct himself in such a manner and expect the country to be quiet?
All right, so we Alexander Kwame Adjei Bohyen our known minority leader ewo parliament, but enra Honorable Aban Kingsford Sumanu Babin the Speaker of Parliament ono ena krata no esi no so nti now so the ruling eba.
The filing of a stay application may yet introduce an additional layer that may prevent changes to the member status within the meaning of Article 97 and 99 of the Constitution. The House's attention is also brought to Article 105 of the 1992 Constitution, which provides that a person who sits or votes in Parliament, and I quote, knowing or having reasonable grounds for knowing that he is not entitled to do so commits an offense. It is crucial to emphasize that Article 105 is penal in nature. Should the member know that he ought not to be in the chamber and he participates in the activities in the chamber. Honorable members, it's therefore too much premature to say that the Honorable Matthew Yindam is disqualified from entering and participating in the proceedings of the House, because this period still falls within the 7 days mandatory stay of execution of the order. Honorable members, this is not a declaratory order, it is an executive order that was delivered by the High Court. And so the Honorable member is right to have been in the House yesterday and to have participated in the proceedings.
All right. right, so Speaker of Parliament Honorable Aban Babin Ena Otene Enkano Mehunse Enra press conferences ahodo binum akoso ewa ebedi sansem no enyina eho enko but yemfa the Daily Graphic the Democrat no emfa entoaso Interior Minister order probe into SP assassination claim. Nkrumah returns. Second coming rocks the African Festival December 28th to 30th. Mineral royalty surge across all sub-sectors. And the final story, the bigger one, portable lab unveiled for basic schools. STEM box to break barriers in science education, according to the Daily Graphic.
Krata Kwame Abosu Ubagana Memua, the Wankata Hudu, and non a krata Kesepa. Na nensemo no pe kruchiri de baaye no baako eye swafo her amanwen semo so unmunyamfo muntaka mubarak na semo awaka se yese nkofo ye se ka special kwesi Peter kisi ejaben ka ombedi na wu no o se yenye hwehwe mu kata de sasem no e bae na dwumade bi so wato din Nkrumah returns almost say the nefa to so mienu omo be hye omo hye kura wi a eba so na nyame ya adomo a December bosumi e wo ne de to so aduonu wotwe ekosi na de asan so e na omo de bedi sa adwuma ne duru aya na nya agro kra ankofo free mahodo mu ba na ne omo nyina de odo abebo odom eboa nso ema omai enya sika na asem kese ode baaye pa ode mampanyi John Dramani Mahama ene adesuafo bi emfonyini ene baaye ena omo ka adesua ho ensensem na okire se wo hwe adesua ekọ efom omo fom e ka no basic schools no basic education ho no wose yani ko pa etise no omo hwe se lab esefata bia no ombebie biebi e schools ni mu na juma adesua no se na ba bia ye friend no STEM no wose ho omo ka science omo ka technology omo ka engineering no maka mathematics ose ho no e ba bia omo ni be koso pa ma ewura form na no beboa ama the impuntu abana ankoye se kanense de ye kobia sa no da bia se ne de ubiemu a na ubiemu ya mo wani agina baabi na no ebema yakoyenim ewo omai impuntu mu Daily Graphic ensema odiba ya Kwame oboso no
okay yemfa Daily Guide and to us say minority TUC reject utility tariffs hike, government dismisses Wuntumi's further document request. My ministry probes SP assassination claims and 5 arrested for robbery. The biggest story, give me power, I will give you jobs. Kennedy Ejapon.
Daily Guide new or say Edom Kumano Enra Mutras and Omokasai, Nanyo Munkwa, TUC, Jumafonka Muku, Batan Casino, or Mumpen Foso Kasai, or Motre say. Enama Hode electricity, any ensure bois, Nanu ya PRC for Edebeto Bontense, Afeda. General Bosomini Ramwa and to move airbano, almost Musomu and ye. Now, by crowd, you might forget to understand also or two mu, or Ancha Munkron. Young Quati, I was what to him. Achen, I can turn into Muna by Naweno. A heaven I buy a quarters as a Monso Musomua, and ye, and a quarter so and penning for HSM. Papa won't to me, na send ye, Monkomra, ye Shankatemu. Ya say Kata ni bi o bi HSO ye pekrata we ye pewe no court say debi munyina hwa baby at the kramo no eno na mode be ye adwuma na asoye hwe amanwen nsem so ene kisi agya ben nsem no so krata e de baye na nipa enum bi so aban sa ka wo no prosifo kura otedua mu a ye de hankofo gu omu sa dan a ye so omu ya akromfo aremfo eti prosifo no anopai o say ye mo piawo say yada no mo boy ho ban o matimi ache sa nipa bonfo enum yi na papa Kennedy ohine akompre ko Japan so nie okuta kasa mu a wo kasa sasam na wo ka no wo ka che PP delegation so mo fa tumi ni ma no ono so ebe ma wo manya adwuma aye Daily Guide ensam enie Ken ohine Japan o se mo fa tumi no e ma no
no ma ya adwuma
ono so enye ye nyina da bi we ne de eye delegates ye first it delegates no bansa na ye nyina ya
delegates na betumi amane power
o class ahead na e na watimi abekasa che Ghana fo nyanti se sia ni de one delegates was the delegates in the manner
he talking to your delegates.
Thank you Nana. Who was talking to the delegates?
Honorable Canada Japan talking to your delegates,
and then he said
give me a power and give you a job.
Thank you very much Nana. Thank you for the word so sweet. Yes Nana Hima Nana Piao
and I mean so mo eco visit President Kofo and I General Secretary Bon Komo I say no or can't say Papa Kofo I so beshia aspirants ni nyina
right.
ampenra wuhia omo ewo ni fie na ono omo ebo enkomo tiwe one Kwame Adjei Japan eni Dr. Mamodu Bawumia enso ni ena afi nso Dr. ya wose oditum enso ni gina ono ena wan ona wo Kennedy Japan nso ni gina chire ono na ma hu Dr. Brana Champon
na me hu no pictures na ba ye ni nyina me hu no Oko, I think is it ECOWAS Parliament or so? Yes, so in it means wabedra. Sometime last week na omo timinim so be our bar. But then no images said okay me hunu.
But me sure send the reps
will be represent. That is to say ma kwan so obetima will be represent. Once the meeting be wa e one kasa in person e pe. In your absence, ye ma kwan ma obi foforo mejinam. Aha nti se be no ano. Omone president Kufuor de na kwan say uni ho a obetima mu bia begina wa na mu dia but say yes ade ne na enipa 4 na aka na me hu say omokoye
okay so say omo hia Nana Addo Dankwa Kufuor and omo ahia two former presidents ni nyina omo hia they say futu bia o say ku bia no ko on say ayi de no former president Nana Addo de no or this no kwa de krata aban komo no omo boye ni bi in the summary form but president Kufuor de me hu say enkomo no omo boye no issues no be aba minim say free na corner e bi be ba bonti ana ono de you decide say obey no indoor just obia anti bi for omo nko a nti na bi ama na na me hwa say bi aka e bi nya krata bi say nkitawudie no the center of these issues yes okay yemfa the chronic ama odel bokrata no enso osu Apostolic Church marks 75 years of faith and service. MEF accuses some former board members of orchestrating smear campaign. Naimos Galamsey fight suffers major setbacks, logistical constraints, interference by chiefs and politicians cited.
Krata de Chronicle, emunsem na Kwame abosu in Apostolic asoye nefa wo osu no mpanifo nse obi eye emfie adioson enumni eti wadanya me ase papa ewo ye ni adoya waye wonum na edwoko ede mefo no omo empanimfo so kasa omo guso kasa omo say nipa bi akane na omo ye board members ema adwuma no omo bi kwan omo nam so nam kuntrase ye niema no omo say entwe ye kwa eti omo guso omo kan say asen kofo to abo so egugu omo wo sesi ana kwa mu empese adwuma sese omo ye no ani beda ho no matimi aye ni na naimos omo a aya posifo asoja fo ye do ma bom omo ekoatia Galamsey ese omo adwuma no se de wo senka eko no enkosa aden ese akade e wo se omunya ka ani bia ho akade no omo nsanka wo ni nyina boa no a esi ahemfo ni bi nso ha wo madwen se ya che obi no o mafran na na hema nso konie ehene manie ayi match we ni me nkwara na omunya wo mo wo de me pa achewa mo omo se eye bibia ha wo madwen papa ha wo madwen naimos ene boy sa amanie
eso mo ko no munim dada
omo se major challenge politicians ni bi kura ka ho omo se politicians e ka ho
omo suma omo na
politicians ni e ka ho ene yes Kwame
omo suma omo no
hwe
okodura o se we de enchi no
dabi
ya kan wo mai mu dada say eniema biblia emwoye maye nkoye ni develop no eye nkoze nkofo bi ma o manya so no kasa ahemfo ni bi e ka ho say kasa ye tekọ ye chi ye mpuntuo no kọ ye chi ahemfo ni bi ka ho papa bi ni e friend Major Kobina obeye KM mayor I think early 90s wo Major Kobina no ye retired army officer and obeso KM and o say because at that time now it was Capital Radio and he invited no studio say yankomo na ebusa ne say ade Kumase mpuntuo obeye adwuma ne say Kumase obesoma eden o say Kumase adwuma ne ye no ahemfo ena ma adwuma ne ye den na wachi obi no say waye ade anya wo say mra ni di no be no ohini bi abu ni ntumam no aba ai me ne na so enso me de sie ni no waye say ja no o say me hwe wo mu no aka chom say nana we minye itedu baby o say Major Kobina mu ade Major Kobina ukọ ne hokọ awo ohene no mu o say papa ne kaaye Major Kobina me say o ka say me remfida o say Kumase adwuma ye ne den kese pa no e ahemfo enti mewe na mo so mo ka na nya me nwanwa say pese ye koye no ma ahemfo na bi so na munya galamsey ko no kamo de se nananom nsa nananom ye bi ebebu ketem ebu ntuma mu aka ne chacha so akose enye o mu nyina obi o wa ade ne nya enye da ahemfo a enya ne de se no ko beka se da bi de o ye na enye obi nya obi so akọ because Kwame we ye police officer ebi a we o man heniu na waba o say oh nana Kwame mesro usu kwa oba unimu no nana so oni to odimu na Kwame ohini aba wani no aka kire say me wo fa asini Kwame minim say wafum me minti mesro fa chame etire nkomo bia ho Kwame ye bedu de ya Abraham fie ohun say ye oman a ye hwe amamre ensam soso o ye de hwe na ne no ga nza na mempene enya na ketwa bia o te akire ba bio aka nsa mempene enti ebewie na de na nipa ne ye na agitum say ne de se na fom ye say ye oman so ye bekọ enu ye de mra ene ye kyekyere na obi adi mra so na kro na ba se ja ne de se no enti say ye onu mako de a oni na bi de mra ne ni but ye na Morgan ne de ne na wadi nanim de naba panyin na ye de adwuma na hye ne nsa no obede na adwuma na akọ anim ye wi na aka se oman ne ye enko ye nim ye be de akọ ye nim enti ahemfo titiru so mu jai makame chacha so metutu ntoma na nanom anopai ebuo mu ana me ka we me mamo pia o mu bebre ye ne ye but mu nuanom na ya na achawpa no ye de saa kwa ebe man krofo adwene mu no emre wo so odi so no he na nsen Kwame be empresa na makan he traffic light mi so red enro abako suntre so ha na mi di obi achi light no ba bia ye wo mi di na chi pe o ne light no abone ni papa na ya so red no me kanum tin za koi obey na adwu so obe cross red light ampa baby na light na so adu no omo free hospital na say na 88 na still o twam koi na me we take na me osumiti na me so hu se police for no na ka omo wosoro prempa ni mo bi no mu gina na na de no enipa ni bia ye o madwen say light no aso red wo hu pa say mo wa ha na so green mama mo ba still no o sia mo police ni be so ni mu enti me kan for some time say me wa ha na wa ba say the kan na nkofo na police for no na ye say no match mo because me hwe mu kirem say um bebre they were at fault of course we benya police ni a why na use bia kwan bia so pe bibia je nipa no etika na nipa no wa amfom kwa na or pe bibia so but about 99% of them they were at fault no by na police for no say me decide only police for nya asem na na omo ye say na omo haye na monko ka bi maya I decided no menye drivers be brasso de and just commercial for even private drivers light no who say abone ni abone bi aso red e wo so ogina no Kwame sa nipa we obetu kwan akọ obi kromu who say light no bone ni a senka o drive obegina adenti no beduru Ghana no why na adwen say onye me wa ye wi a ye pese o man no ye koye nim ye beche no acha opa no say ye nyaye a Kwame ye nyai pa me pa cho no e na fache no na ye nkoye nim
and suban so e na oko countries na yes you answer the influ omokra de omo no ko omo kire omo ho kra chen but omo no system ne dey yo ho adwuma
e be juice ka system no wo be jai
e be juice ka enti uni akwanya se wo kopo obi che ye ti wa ya che
president no kra fuma emra ni di na
emra ni udi ye ti wa ya che nti ye koye anim no se pese o man ye yie dia sa niema countries no employ boa omo mutimi check sa de no oko UK omo ye den but fines nkwa omo fine ye fine nkrofo e misbehave okronum a ye gi omo sika nkwa no no de chiro omo man
driver ni nim say the car obetimi a drive from ebi asunwane obedru esuofu a eho na owo kwan se oduru ontimi ntra esuofu amfa meduru abepo junction oba there's going to be a fine tuning odu wa the car no mo pake and wafa bus and a train no dia ba ontimi drive nya bia na ko car bia ma kwan ma drive because sika wo ho a obetua it odu ozo a onye say Ghana ha obehwe no wadu no wa ye na ne bi oni police ni bi e na oje me kakra na mawuram obiti red light a ebobo so so bo na ni say na wagina because no so obiti a asembeto no
say adum da so ye still na nkeni ho kwan say Central Business District wono Prague ane sa ne ma ne ko because sa we ne de to so na assembly na de to ni emfiri keni ho kwan so omoko minim say there will be a meeting na otwi mu na ensemfo fra san aba out concerning sa ne ma ye but bisa ho say adenti e na sa amra no yen timi amfa anya adwuma yenya omo yede mra na mom so omfanya adwuma ebi political reasons ne ade ne man kitinkiti bi say anya ne sa ne say yeda so te say de etie yi a sa express road I see here from Accra dey aba because of say beto ekwan no ne nkrofo tuetue sika no wo mo betena to no nkrofo betwam wo mu ntua because ye nkrofo bebre o ma yusu sa kwan ke so mo na ntua to o na ntua panimfo duru anu ama ne nsa so no atwam eti ehiafo na wo fam no wo mo na da bia to no ndi oduru obetua ba onu duru obebo ni din no atwam oh sa fine ne ade na ye nya no country ni transipa na ehun say enti fine bebrebe na ya di obi anya ne driver's license ye fine no obi anya road world ye fine no sa fine kitenkito jampe traffic ni ade no a wo senke ade no eba se ma ye misa sa ade nti na ema ba ye chinkrofo da bia so mu jampe traffic wo mu ni stickers ni ade bo mu kan say de mra no aka no pepepe no but we are not getting anything from it because obi a ye de adwuma na hye ne ncha no ekonu butum of course say fine say snake say government adwuma bia obe twu obi aso bia no ne okohu obi ho entisika o si etua de ma ban ne etua de ma individual
oya ogajo we do kokota o jo 2000
pie nyuma wa ban nyuma
wo ma bie ne simple kra say do obi age ne shop a wafa akora tima kora no so afa echi da kwaje obi ne ma do mu no oba unim say ne ina say yanto ade ono akora na wo shop na wo high store na boso no utuaka no wo say tell no ka no wafa wachi akwaje obi ne ma de abegum e no all ton wo de ne gumo eti unim say e na nan say yanto ade eti so anya sharp na one monitor near me and resident na ono no open shop within o shop obi open shop within o shop me wa obe page man na osu o ka che so obe man 800 oji tumu say 800 no dey open because e den man o here opportunity say obe sorry afifi no abaye adwuma na hu ne mobo e na wafa no 800 waji atum aketu ani so me tum say aketu ani so enso but unim say ne de be ma ade na wunjai na won telefi no so waji adwuma no wa ye na adwen say obepe means bi ada say won ma no obe fa kuntura say awia bi na ode nya sika go no ni botom o obe kwa akoji obi dia begum na wode ne de gum so me so abetua ne ka bill obetua light there say shop no aketua obetua ohun nipa titu ye komra enkofo adwen say nipa kro na so na say ofre no so ye kristoni okwa asore ono kra na bompa ye kese eto nwoma to ayi nwom but no oboa angel and na ada ne ntronko a
ehia kese pa na oko shop ketekete ya shop yi na no mekosa mekoye cameras ebu bom
wanya ne sase ye bofo
na de o say uyi wani kitua bia ye enti wonam nyina ne phone yi kuta no monitor de ekoso shop
already ekoso
enti nema adwuma so obi ni mo pa onfo adwuma
dabi
opa kuta ewia certificate onimu wa
onfa na obo kro no ubewu no akwaje ne store bia
kro no bone doso
kunkrofo so
uti anye ye na obo fom so a omo sa nkofo na begina ba bia ka se wo na we kuhwini enti na wanye yi anye bara Kwame anopai mamenya de kakrai mame France da ma owura Michael Kwabena Free ona epanyin pa woda sechiduma se owura bank PLC nana hema so ko se oda wase owura Michael Kwabena wo so mane no enti ya mane Kwame Adjei na Kwame emedi hu adanse
ka mane nana me mi kita akwala me wa akwala ka to anti wo mane fa mane me na ho de nka ho ntra
enti won fa wo de nka ma
ni nyina anu no fa ma
sa na me so me de no so
siwo me mane de ni nyina fa ka me de
ezi zutafo didi me ama ho ato mewa
se se ye ko bro nya bremu eti owura Michael Kwabena Free ni na dwuma force Kwame ye ncha wonum client nyina customer se ma wo mo na ye na wo ma so mo no mo ye dwuma na ye nso ye wo Angel FM ha no ye nso ye pese ye da wo mo ase se cheduma se fo no ye da wo ma se wo ma so ya sen na Angel in the morning dwuma yi edie na ekoso kama na no pay wo se ye nkai wo manfo se ba na current affairs current account corporate current account savings account susu me bada achen fixed deposit money transfer jumedi ahudo ni nyina wo mudibi oso nguso ton says na ba ko bia ye 10 pesos went me antokra no 200 Ghana cedis oba be ye shareholder e wo bank kese yi mu sa na wo pe loan bia wo pe no bo se abo se wo de bra jaso sese omo be siesie bia ma me se de ye me de ye kuafo de no e na wo so yi aba fie no mbesi pono na o magensa bode ni nyina ama mo se wo ya nkwankwa adwuma na aban adwuma o bosia so nko se ho a ode ema wo group loan so oguso a ode ema wonom phone numbers no edoso anopai na me fa mi enu ma mi wi amachiro baby branches ni bi wo 050 16 82 73 7 050 16 82 73 7 Emfie aduanan enum ni 45 years ene de ka ho ena omo asom omanfo Oko baby to say Secheduma se branch no omo ben Secheduma se dwa no adwura omo ben GPLT da na Kenya asenso oben Kenya se MA school no ewukuma se anwaga dwom ubenya wo mo ho twam na batafo a club se no nche mu ho a ubenya Secheduma se branch no bom pattern so boss fm edan no akiri ho a na mo shizongo so omo wo second station Oko adidwan ewo mampon municipal chichire efija kwabre ena nyina so a ho nyina no omo abie mobilization centers a omo ebeso wase ka na so se Secheduma se rural bank plc de the bank with vision
sa pepe aha
na okuta bibiana
daily searchlight yanka de beye de finish in service to God and country. Yeah, near my pepe the boy money.
Okay.
Sani ase kire also parliament uniform EC of panda seats. Vacancy 90 days clock starts. What am I chebe of you? Bia fanenta.
Vernacular is prohibited. Say we your prof Nana for prof no my na Thank you, Nana. Thank you very much for the brofu so sweet. Nana,
challenge Kisi Ajabin to produce the vehicle. Former OSP employees say admitted at Angel.
Yeah, and just a radio.
Yeah, family.
A foul.
Admit suggestions of law breaking by special prosecutor.
So Lord Abamu ni na chesa waka no no. Ai aba emra ho asem na wo.
Consume local food to boost economic development. Western North Regional Minister advantages.
Say advantage you only does disadvantage or sabrofu so waka sabrofu bia na mienu.
Exactly.
No problem advantage.
Exactly. People Parliament Assembly. PPA. Corruption tried drugs. OSP defense pass. As court set January date. Admit public backlash.
Nana koenim. No.
Drivers group praises Mohammed's first year. Rise government 90%. The daily searchlight.
You not just a daily searchlight and someone up brofono and another buyer. Now about Cody Kaka no say or may not say be fee and ye or more so or matter the econo or must say easy. Bano pandai say city no court I can't say yes and go to a ban for it in my sabi your phone say a drew when you are also the commission so and say no I can't chance on na ekwan nanim onto to ne ma say de say na efata na no pa yakaki se ajabe ho ensensema na yaka kire wo say yase nipa bonfo bi ya adwene senka won mo ebetatara gene kwan afri ne nsem na obi aka ne no ye adwuma wo sa office hobi no ono de na no betum say yen sekisi ajabe na baby kura ka na ekepes na otima epese edidi ne bone na baby aka no wo no ye ma ka no onfamra o se ase bibi entuetuetu na so ne bi enko boko ema no na tiewe na sanenso se yese oman enuane a yedua no ye man mu no omo ka se ye ma ye ni nko hu na ye ni e no na no na beboa ye papa we Western North osoafo na ono so ode na no atosase mu ya o ka se omanfo beti so munti eno mu na ye we na adwumako bi o ho a ye fe no PPE na ebre bi ketasese nsem bi ekoso ho na wo sempanifo eye nhwehwemu na eno na kata boy amane se OSP ya no yes anhwehwemu no se ase otwetwetwene na ase ni nyaane se court ade date foforo abase nyame ya domo a afeda January bosome no eho ena omu piansem no asan akọ na o masase akọtana na droba fonka bo mu kobi so atena se ya o se mampanyi John Dramani Mahama na ban o mabo na baso so waya ade papa na obi se waya ade sese o mo se hwe oba yi afie dikan no enema akoyi ama droba fo enti o mo se wo ha enchem wadu okon 90% mark ena omode ebe mo mampanyi John Dramani Mahama.
Okay, Kumasi High Court eba na wie efa Daddy Lumba ne yire akwasua sewa nsɛm bi ɔde kɔdan court no anim no court no awuru ɛsɛ court no decision ɔde baeɛ ɛne sɛ yɛmɛ mmaa mmienu ɔdɔbroni ɛne Kwasi Asɛwa ɔmo mmienu nyinaa enye kuna na emom Kwasi Asɛwa enkohu abusuapanyin ansa na kuna no akɔso ɛnura yɛwɔ hɔ na yɛnya videos ni pictures a ɛkyerɛ sɛ abusuapanyin ɛne Daddy Lumba ne ma ne nananom ɔmo ɛkɔ manhyia kotokofie na yɛnim adekodeɛ pɔten a ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ hɔ numere no ayɛ ohuhu sɛ ɔmo kɔɔyɛ no yeso abusuapanyin kɔyɛ na yie tinyame yɛ adom a this weekend yɛ 13th no yɛ wese Daddy Lumba yie no betimi aba so ebinom nso se o da bi otumfo ɛse nyame yɛ adom a yawada ɔmo nsan mra enti wanhwɛ a date sisam bi betimi akɔso but yentie ayi abusuapanyin ebra enura after enhyiamu ni nyinaa no ne nsentro bonkomo just this quick one afi Kwasi pon do ne
binisi ayo anope ayume eko manhia de nke Kwasi otumfo anso so amso obae no wantumi ansifo ti ebra kro nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kyerɛ ne sɛ abusuapanyini kɔne kɔyɛ wayi nti sɛ yie na na yɛkɔyɛ ɛyɛ da yɛ 13th ya ye no ya ti se bi mo kasa sisi but omubwa obia ne yo kasa mini bia na obia nkasa ye na ka chem se menko ye mayi 13th no ye toto nema ya koye yi 13th no adafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na ye kama do mo ka kan de futuro no mo to gumanu de busu apanyini beka no ena munti me ena de ye na hye mensa se menko na menko ye yi sanse me na me ye busu apanyini.
Okay, I was confused.
AK to pack.
Now, Kwasi Opon and so yeah, the royal reporter on the Menshia Kotokofi di Besi Ubiano and from a Fakra or Maeti. Kwasi Ote and Kano pay Moachi. Hello, Kwasi Moachi. Okay.
The line I drop it.
Okay. You say you bet me assign adequacy ababi ura emubium ni no abon komo ewo menhia de nura
ekoso Daddy Lumba yes Kwame
easy
nkofo aye fed up
o ma me
back and forth it's for easy paint my na
easy paint
say betimi akọ
easy waterproof paint ewo ho the man now protective fie no be leakages bi ene niema bi a on say mensuo ewura odan no mu a ensuo safe fie no we easy high frofro we easy waterproof eno na betimi abo odan no ho ban e dey free ho sanso na betimi e dey afa roof no so na asili bibia kama ntinsuo to a ensuo entimi e madan na fe ama wonchense no so long lasting protection we here easy waterproofs year juma pa enti bomodin se unsa beka bi roofing sheets concrete roofings and afi woods nyina no obetimi dia fa so kama no abo ho ban e dia free leakages ho ma me ne Kwasi pon emonkomo Kwasi memo achimbi ejo so awra kwa yo ya ba won chen anopa yi a enura dia potin enesi ye o manhia efa Daddy Lumba na yehu
medase Kwame enu ase de ye nyina ye tie no se ye owura kodofo si onya na bebe ko na busua no ene nananom a omo ena omo ehwe se ombetoto ensem nyina ama asomdwe aba no ene osantehene ekwa akohia ewo kuku dapa uku eye baby a osantehene edi ukude no na ehwa nso enota ehia abemu mpanimfo ni orma eba ne na ase ensra beje futu na bra ye kotena ho no pa be nonkro ene fa no ye tena ho nananum bi betena ase abusua ni nyina paaye ema obaku se after Lumba 1 week no first public appearance ye de hunu odobroni anye ne mamiensa eye enura na omo ka ho bi abusua panyi kofu su afei Lumba ne ba panyi ba ko gini so nyina eba bi afei wo hwe afano a ma me akosua bempoma egina fa omo nyina ba se busua Now so my catch was say me two factions e wo mu ma me akosua bimpoma ono o meta na kire ana busuapani kofu so omo a eta na kire na o meta busuapani kofu so akire no e bi odobroni ana afen so no ma me fortina fosu lumba eni nisisa baako ketwa no enti ya tena ho no mo na nanum bia betena se afei ehunu ya ne se bobe no mienu onmo ede kro no be no mienu ne fa ho no na you say na sama hene eka apie second gate apie first gate say okọ sanso eni ru say bafo kankankrechi so edi nani akire ne kwan ya okro afei nanantu bo sia ko to so mienu ma bena se hene afei nana that yes so aba hene na omunyina ba betena omka mu na ansana no ne yehunu se ebra omo sorry no ana nana homabena si ene nana that yes so aba afre ma me akosua bimpoma ene abusuapani kofiusu ene omkohie ene na close door yenim ne ekosiye na akire no ana yenya ne ntie nhwemu akire yense Kwame Osandehene enya mehia omo eyen ko asabi so se be kronto Sandehene ahoro ne safiri ho na nanom hemfo nso ahoro mo sa afiri ho atwom ho afiri ho na se kofa ba ye de obinim ne esiye na enso Kwame nam se edi manchia atrantwie esom ho daa no be ka cho se manchia e kire oman bi intelligence manchia ekura no ni ekosu ho bia no Osandehene hunu kra ansa na oba betena se ohunu se sikajati ase no Osandehene nyamekase utumfo se tuwa bebio eti ase no di bie no no ekosu wo kumase ana santememu a ada menhia Osandehene ohunu ana ontie enti enye nwanwa se bra na ehonomo aye hyehyee se etumi aka kiro exchange of words and ekosu wo kire montene aye beba so emaso ende keka ho no nyina no metumi aka kiro se enye nwanwa se no na ebe trigger esa meeting ya entumi amaso ya enye nwanwa kra na yehwemu ebe tumi a kire se Osandehene pese enam se owura kodwofosu na sante se mu hia no ene se woya mansa nyina ani na mansa nyina ani ti da tintino no Osandehene pese o hye na munyam nenso ne ekokoso bi ni ne ekoso ewo ho no mo no enu baka ho bi na ema sesia no woyi ne nsa afiri ase se abusua no a beko na wakwa akoye woyi kwani ode be fa so de se be wo mo ansem se de Osandehene ene nananum a ode ehye omunsa no obi ansa eni ayi eyonumu sabi betumi aka sisu bia se obi Osandehene o na ne adade so abo na sama yo obi anka nkire obi asa yawada omumra mehia nhemudie bia
okay
na bomu no abusuapani so interview agrantele say eye ne baso baba yara sports stadium Kwame anopai makọ baba yara sports stadium Heroes Park ikase etumi baso pa ana bako inside ho na ana abusuapani ka say yamna baba yara amna mehwe dwumadi a ekoso ho ne ade eka ho bi ne ba anopai me so makọ ho ne kọ ho no mo no Kwame bibie no ekoso okọ Heroes Park a tracks bi akago bi a omo be yi omo niema ene sisi omo yi omo niema omo ofu yi omo niema
enye dadilumba yi hu niema ene what track
enye hu niema Kwame enye hu niema okọ the main pitch no so a Milo games be koso ya wada ne fiada omo ba be je honomo ya sabe training na koso e wo honomo ahead of Milo games ya wada ene ne fiada na omo je so a omoji park no ye Heroes Park no ma omo parking slot ho na buses dey school for no ba no be park here enti se eye beba so wo hwe eye kase te se high profile yi beba so eye memene da be ya na nka anya hwe kra ya wada ne fiara de anka deco for has here, say what the canopies ne or more platform de keka home or more show her, and she a call her mono, and idea, who said, Bibisa air coso, Anna, program or yawa dani fiada, and nuntis grab yet amo be say, a high profile year, as I deco for no, a chassis tem, a bob mono sono, a program or yawa dani fiadano, and a macanchira ono, and what in the Kwame. Yenjushe mu angel eye ebe to me aka akira wo say baby enyema ni nam no ensa kese bi bamu a for the body to release from the mortuary kura no so no yin ka be to me aka cho say no so be ye de ne kakra
se ye be daddy lumba sebe na mu no
yes
obi di injunction koto so ana se den
yenti injunction bia but me to me catch you say from yen intel no angel eye intelligence be catch you say krata bi to me free process ya ba say body no is under criminal investigation so the body cannot be released until further notice banisa a pine ben near Befaso and Yamono, I bet it that ye no. Any kind of interviews will be free. Interview be free. I was a penny was say, I don't can do baby as well. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting because maybe about bedroom. What's it one? Ujina venue was a CIA on the say from. Ayi baba yara agopra no so Heroes Park ena abusu panyi ni ebo nkomo sesi so mbe yi no ena ye Tuesday sa ayi kase te say daddy lumba yi de anya hwe kura no nka be hu bibi setup bi se ya hyase ye bibi e kire se ye toto ayi no ne ade na ebia event organizers no omu di omu di because who say e court no event organizer or no na organize a no transition omwana ye sign the content na organize ade no enti bi omudu omuhudi say Thursday Friday omu betimi ayo omu niema nyina yi ama yi no ahyase on the Friday night
Kwame so oju hudi peace ha wa ukoye MC wo say ya ni mako ni papa enyan ba bi koye oyi because everybody and I say undertaker ne the question for a chance here amount the stage near there na she say I'm saying now the global icon like the legend musician Kojo Fosu na Osha and tomorrow what is say how the church honomo the kwa manchi banchi no canopies a hopwa beba honomo no stage or more ever mountain Kwame Oju hudi said ye kura na minni say if you no school for the be free hon mo be say no num hon no no e kono basis ni betuo ansana wo mu a e ba be prapra wa be prapra ama hono ada ho ansana wanya kwankra say odo niema e ba hono na ade be chekura no Kwame santimem ha emu da mpemu anya hwe ya letikwa na nonum eni Kwame se oju hudi anha na gidie we de ya boroso broso entino no adansie ne nsenkyerene a di be ma yatumi agyina so asisu dua se memene da wo ye bayi enne ebene no aye ne eba so ro Kwame me de migidie no wo fompa
nete say baby ade ne keka kono ni ayede because they all can say omuko manhia nra ya ka che onse monko emu aye na kire se manhia yi ni nsa free aye no ase
sanity Kwame manhia I can say this on authority per our intelligence Otunfo did not meet any of the family members nor the family head and I say nananmo kra
and o ma ka say omumra ya wada no o hwane bo mu sa amane no
Kwame minim ba bia omunya asa information no if you say him for say na asem no wo omonsem eye nanadade so aba hene a pa akoto hene e wo ni fekuo mu a osi ne so etumi komanhia na dadeɛ so aba hene ɛna afei ɔyɛ gyase ɛna nanantwi bɔ ɔsi akɔ ɔtɔ so mmienu homabena se hene ɔno nso ɛwɔ gyase fekuo no mu hemfo a na ɔmo di mu akotene paa nsɛm yi ɛkɔ ɛba no nyinaa ɛna mekan ɔmo nso no nana sama hene ɔno ɛna yɛ head of the divisions ɛma gyase fekuo no ɔno ɛna ɔno nso asign saa hemfo mmienu yi ɔmo nyinaa nkyerɛmu kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo ayi ɔmo nsa fraseɛ ɔsantahene na ankasa ahoro ne nsa afira yie no ho ɛnam nneɛma bi a akɔ soɔ ɛna afei Kwame social media nso ɛka ho bi nsɛm a yɛ discuss ɛwɔ social media no ɛno akora abira me no kasa na ɛnenam social media sɛ na deɛ ɔkɔ manhyia kora yɛ ma wo nkɔ deɛ kɛka ho ɛsiane sɛ most of the social media bloggers no were not allowed into the kukuda pauko bama so honomo enti no ni nyina na ka nsɛm a trigger sɛ ayie no anaasɛ meeting no kura no ma so no Kwame nsɛm pii ya ɛnyɛ nsɛm a ɛda ɛnika a sɛbi ɛsɛ manhyia saa ne sɛ enti no ni nyina ka ho bi ɛna asɛ afei deɛ ɔsantehene ɛpɛ sɛ ɔhyɛ ɔno nana no animonyam nanso no sesei no ahoro ne nsa saa nso ɛna nananom a ɔde dwumadie no na saa ma de hyɛ ɔmo saa nso no ɔmo nso atwe ɔmo ho nti sɛ deɛ yie no bɛkɔ so a ɛyɛ abusua panyin no na abusua ɛna ɛyɛ yie no ɛbra ɛyɛ manhyia nsa animu kama obiara nte aseɛ sɛ manhyia nsa ni ɛyie no as we speak free no abɛpem na deɛ bibia sign deɛ a manhyia nsa ani owura kodwofo so onye nba bi kro na yiyo no ene ne sie emu Kwame ma me san ka bie mu sɛ okɔ paako so a paako so no anibre ɛwɔ hɔ no mo paa anibre ɛwɔ paako so sesei paa sɛ owura kodwofo so kra no ɛbra ɔkɔ ne kira kyiri nyade a paako so hene no ankasa no yɛ heda abɔ na maneɛ enti wɔn so abotoyɛ mo ne abodwo eni okra enne sase owura kodwofo so oyɛ de se wa pre paako so akonwa na yɛ brempɔn konwa enso kra pen ya ɛno nso no ne nsa anka nanso no oyɛ de se preko pɛ nti de se de ɔdaban mu enti ahoboa bɛn na bɛn mu hɔ no nso no wayɛ ɛde ɛhwɛ de nim kan sɛ ebi a memene da no obehia owura kodwofo so sɛ deɛ ɔno wɔtie nso kura no menyi ne nso sɛ oyobi a so ɔdaban mu kura na ɔbɛyɛ ne saa anya hwee benya baabi a sɛ bi wodi ke bi a ne honni bi besie ade aka no sanse wɔnyɛ obi a n'akyi betumi ayera saa enti Kwame yɛ deɛ nsusu yɛ bɛyɛ ɛne sɛ busua no nyinaa ɔmo ntena se na ɔmo ɛnto ɔmo ase ntoto nneɛma sɛ deɛ bɛyɛ a amansan nyinaa German embassy head of National Day as celebrating kodwofo so ha na mo enya gro America almost celebrating na mama pi so Ghana ye hunu de course wo eni ade enti no sene owura no no abaji ni din na obeton ho no ye besre abusua ni nyina se omoma dobre mra na ye ntumi fa sa munyam hye no enhye ne sanse ye nyina ye ready Sajmedi Angel FM Kumasi 96.1 NGTV are you ready?
That the book of condolence that's what they fear.
That's what they fear. Angela, you who the diamond of 4 bedroom MPs in minister women. I had about Angel.
I was a cocaine in our year, Nasi.
Our year, Nasi. So, Antino, yes, throw more. Sabi, something, no. And you more boy, and you be no okwa se ne ya mo enfuchini ya na say ye na enya yi na se wenyine chino sabi osantehini eso obese na animonyam na segment me ho ase ene de ene na mayi no yesere omo de ensa dansayem na mamenka se luba no ofa ase mela opasumdue papa brantie no otete ha ekwani a ne ofa your question no for penny as on na bibia ya ono enete de fie hwe ne bibia na abrante no tete papa Pamela onhunye onye enti yesre omunye na omunye na nya asomdie yesre omo a
Kwasi yadase
me so da bi ba
Wake up Kumasi, wake up Ghana, and listen to the
ayo anope ayumre eko nke kwasi otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusua panyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mu kasa sese bet omuboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa ya na ka chem se menkoye mayi 13th na ye toto nema ya koye yi 13th na dafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na nya kama de omo kaka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busua panyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busua panyini
ajana ene ye call eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre ye call menhia de nke ye kwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusua panyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mu kasa sese bet omuboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa ye na ka chem se menkoye mayi 13th na ye toto nema ya koye yi 13th na dafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na nya kama de omo kaka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busua panyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busua panyini
ajana ene ye call eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre ye call menhia de nke ye kwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusua panyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mu kasa sese bet omuboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa ye na ka chem se menkoye mayi 13th na ye toto nema ya koye yi 13th na dafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na nya kama de omo kaka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busua panyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busua panyini
ajana ene ye call eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre ye call menhia de nke ye kwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusua panyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mu kasa sese bet omuboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa ye na ka chem se menkoye mayi 13th na ye toto nema ya koye yi 13th na dafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na nya kama de omo kaka de mfuturo no omo tugu mu de busua panyini beka no ena munti me ena ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busua panyini
ajana ene ye call eye menhia gine sie
ayo anope ayumre ye call menhia de nke ye kwase otumfo na nso so mso obae no wantumi ansifo nti ebra kra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusua panyini kona koye wayi nti sese ye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya tese bi mu kasa sese bet omuboa obia ni wa kasa hini bia na obia ankasa ye na ka chem se menkoye mayi 13th na ye toto nema yakoye yi 13th na dafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na nya kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no moto mu mu de busua panyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busua panyini
ajana ne yako eye menhia dinesi
ayo anope ayumre yako manhia de nke kwase otumfo na nso so amso obae no wantumi ansi fo nti ebra akra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusua panyini kona koye wayi nti sese aye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya te se binumu kasa sese bet omubwa obia ni o kasa hini bia na obia nkasa nya na ka chem se menkoye mayi 13th na ye toto nema yakoye yi 13th na dafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na nya kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no moto mu mu de busua panyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busua panyini
ajana ne yako eye menhia dinesi
ayo anope yako manhia de nke kwase otumfo na nso so amso obae no wantumi ansi fo nti ebra akra ho nemum di ahemfo ne mpanyifo beka kire ane se abusua panyini kona koye wayi nti sese aye na na yekoye eye da ye 13th ya ye no ya te se binumu kasa sese bet omubwa obia ni o kasa hini bia na obia nkasa nya na ka chem se menkoye mayi 13th na ye toto nema yakoye yi 13th na dafo munyina mumra na momeboa na ye na nya kama kama de omo keka de mfuturo no moto mu mu de busua panyini beka no na munti me na ye de ye na hye mensase me nko na me nko ye yi sanse me na me ye busua panyini
ajana ne yako eye menhia dinesi
ayo anope yako manhia de nke kwase otumfo na nso so amso obae no
that you mentioned, restitution, rehabilitation, and guarantee of non
When Chinese companies come and establish industries, sometimes they don't need to bring Chinese people to Ghana. They find a pool of Ghanaians who are qualified and can speak Chinese. And so it makes it very easy for them to employ them and be able to carry out their work. China also funded our University of Health and Allied Sciences. And so the campus, that's the University of Health and Allied Sciences, that's training a lot of doctors, paramedics, and other specialists, was funded by China. And that is one of our public universities that has a good reputation, is performing very well, and that was based on friendship.
One thing I should add, Mr. President, is that Ghanaians do not just speak Chinese, but they excel at it.
Yes.
I know one Ghanaian who was a friend of mine who went on to win the Hanyu Chinese speaking competition globally. That is the highest, most highly regarded Chinese speaking competition anywhere in the world. So they truly excelled at it.
And they speak it flawlessly with the right accent, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I wish I could speak Chinese too.
The Global Leaders Meeting on Women convened in Beijing in October 2025, drawing participants from more than 110 countries. As a guest of the summit, President Mahama said the gathering was of great significance and highlighted China's leadership in advancing women's development worldwide.
This time you're attending the Global Leaders Meeting on Women as guest of honor. You delivered a major speech talking about the connection of improving the welfare of women from China, from Ghana, and from around the world. How would you assess the advancement made by China in terms of improving the rights of women?
Well, it's good to be in Beijing, which is very firmly associated with the 1995 Women's Conference here in this city. 30 years on, I want to commend President Xi for championing the cause of women and calling this Global Leaders Meeting on Women to review the progress that has been made in respect of women across the world. President Xi gave the keynote. He mentioned the advances that women have made all across the world, including in China, and also mentioned the gaps that exist in terms of accelerating women's empowerment and equality. I gave a bit of a report card of Ghana. President Xi, of course, had given a report card on China, and women have made quite serious advances here in China. In Ghana, our women have also advanced quite well. Currently, we have gender parity when it comes to enrollment in school. As many girls are going to school as boys. Before, it wasn't the same. Aside from that, women have made advances, held some of the top government positions.
During the speech that you mentioned, President Xi Jinping's speech addressing the Global Leaders Meeting on Women, one word he touched upon for over 20 times is the word of development. He said the Chinese women contributed to the development of China's economy, political system, as well as its cultural influence. In fact, there's a data here that validated what President Xi said. Women in China accounted for over 43% of employment in high-quality development sectors, 45.8% in science and technology, Chinese women, and roughly one-third in digital trade, e-commerce, and live streaming. What are your thoughts on all this progress?
Yeah, those were very impressive numbers. China, because it was home to the Beijing Declaration, has made quite serious advancements in accelerating women's empowerment. That's admirable. And I believe that we should be proud of what China has done. In our country, we're trying to push women's empowerment, and I think that women have made very serious advancements in Ghana too. Women dominate business and trade. And so when you come to the area of commerce, marketing goods and all that, women dominate that sector. In education, like I said, more women are going to school and staying in school.
Located in West Africa on the northern shore of the Gulf of Guinea, Ghana borders the Atlantic Ocean to the south with a coastline stretching 562 kilometers. The country is rich in agricultural, fishery, forestry, and mineral resources. From the 15th century onward, Western colonial powers invaded coastal areas of present-day Ghana, plundering resources and trafficking enslaved Africans, leaving the continent under the shadow of colonialism for centuries. The Bandung Conference in 1955 marked a turning point for Asian and African national liberation movements, which accelerated the collapse of the global colonial system. In 1957, Ghana's independence ignited the first torch of freedom in sub-Saharan Africa and came to be known as the dawn of African awakening. In February 2025, the 38th African Union Summit was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, under the theme Advancing Justice for Africans and People of African Descent Through Reparations. At the summit, President Mahama called for a new wave of awakening across the African continent.
You give a very powerful speech.
You could be the luckiest.
38th African Union Summit, where you
Angel 96.1. Angel.
All right, welcome back. Still live on Angel 96.1. 13 minutes. Abapa nonkono ehu. Nenka wase ye ne Dr. Anthony Insiansari.
Right.
Former presidential advisor on health. No senke ne bonkomo e studios I say, but so when ya emergency be on his way to the studio enti bayedin just ye sign a tusheda
right
tusheda fofo enti bayedin say betimi na abonkomo monfenche when ya emergency be enti want to me medru studio I say enti na wonte ne nka no so you're very rescheduled now.
Yeah, they said that that is fine. Kwame said no, I said na ye ka say ye to about Ghana na was 1 year. Na ye bobo nkoma ye ni JFK kasa ye ni ebusa no ne wo kai. So ewiemu ho na mnyankra say the Ashanti regional chairman of the NDC.
Yeah.
Chairman Augustus Nanakwesi. I say oye media engagement kakra na some say or say order party manas order otumfo ase order santeman manfo ase asofo say omanfo abompaye na afini na omo as NDC for eba abamu no mampanyi mahama abebo adwuma nti order omanfo nyina ase na ose adwuma ono ode na esi for ma wanyama ne party ma no edoso na so pressure asa aba ne so no so chain say ase ya to aba da wie kura no onya bi ma ebinom no omo maka wachi no so edos omo so ede omo de eba it was appealing the party mana omo so omunya bibi no omo nto omo bo ase na nye kakaka na Kwame ade bi strike me say metie the voice metie na no all kasa ansem we omo obo omo na omo ba no say Kwame minya ade bi say nkofoni bi omo ye party fo ya na eba no certificate omuni certificate enti se mo party o ko some party o ko ba yenko campaign se abusa ho se to aba wie ya na o ko se ye ma wadwuma no so aba wo pa adwuma no e na ye mpa aba adwuma be fanse no krata aba ni kuta because aba adwuma almost ba bi adu be gina bi anje so kuta certificate bi paper bi na qualify
you nyuma ni bi o ha e beti
me ba mama no nsi ba bi bebre o ho a aya no o pa obi e ni da so se nka me ha metimi aye no this okuta paper bi eti epem no so okosa na ka se we no qualification it say ya na won hu se de okuta bi no na de kuta no on qualify
okay
eti advice say titru party no wo mu na wo yiro ho na wo pem na wo ni da so bi say ye ba me pe ba bi say ye agina no suade kopenimu de ede paper eye no kopebi na won so no bia na ye jutum se wo ye adwuma wura ugina nsuo mu kasa wo kura no nkofo do mo sakeka because of party ni campaign iti mama for ntrase te net se wo MPP mu na mo opposition na wo ani da so se obi ani me se me de me asomase me bo modern me campaign na so woni paper qualification bia betimi do apredo animu ba bia wunya wo pe na eduru ho a ubesu akasa ne yayi umu ne yayi umu wa hwe be efom adwuma bi na bia no na wo be qualify wo be kasa wo mpe because wo wabre pa it was say maun ne mu odu that is the angle I make me feel just a ukuta paper and that is the angle I'm coming from it now draw my attention say your baby yes I know no dey e wo so level
gigi obi a odo ko
yes e obi level ho
obi ko GKVIP toilet
of course
no bi so akoji ministry bi abos no bi akọ forestry because gigi so wa ho dey
ho na de koye but omo na aya na omo pe ba bia wani mu no na me draw my attention say unu bia nya because of the qualification no it ye piano na aye but who needs our qualification wo besu it mo yire mo na mo ya party adwuma no suade it's personal advice to all party supporters no na no bete papa no o kan say banu mpuntu a market awaro si grow from any other market bi omo ba beye ni nyina ma omanfo hu say by the time JM enwie ne term we no omanfo be hu say yes
okay
and this abayi bi
yentie no say the nra okasa
common fund na e buy no oma allocate before 24-hour economy market na metro no de no emso omo de ye eno ntimi say nyame ya tomacha bosumi ya edi anim no ye yi contractors a omo e ba ko ye honum enti ene de rest assured na dia metumi akaja say for the next year eba no Ashanti region market because there were 43 district assemblies no obia AC1 ultra modern market 24-hour economy economy na ya ma me no ma ko na ewiem to aba edema ye no ombenya baby papa akọ didwa na omo so asuma eden adwo mo shape compounds at villages omo medical care no ebetumi akajon say by the next year no there for 3 district assemblies no obia betwenya shape compound be mienu ana miensa wom dia kaye insuo to the new say by the time of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no various areas in na betwenya insuo and light no so omguso a omoye function nti ye beta asantemas na as a father and as a chairman of the region ye hwe NDC eso no ye ma asantensa ensi from da ya yaka no ye be ehwe se ewiemu insuo mu ye be ye na asante afa ne tuma pa efra yenim se edidida na eden eye fie nan ewenim ya ye besa akobiom ti ye kwa ye betumi akache asante se ye ka se ye be ye we pre yetumi aye den aye na
angel. Okay, so we Mr. Augustine Nana Kwesi.
Augustus Nana Kwesi. Augustus Nana Andrew Kraka. Augustus Andrew Nana Kwesi. Kwame a guy. It's a Nana Kwesi a guy. There's something about him say the way me onyo bia me huno, but say as I say Usiano bia or Kaminipa. That is one side about politicians nibia nipa no hu from this house why busy. But this gentleman who no nipa bia ura baby na say bia opf you and as one party for bi nam kra na minia na say all camel bibia mi say eye for politics na omo ye na nipa adwuma na omo ye. It we wish Chairman Nana Kwesi well. Say enra ono so acknowledge some kofo ba me dey developmental near na obobo so no so mutimi ya eyema omo so mo ntimi anya ebre ne beso am ye bekwa koto aba ehono mo no omo behu omo score card
na politician na ye kan no mu di atem ekwan nye na o kan no mu atifie omutimi fro no mu di atembo ye kwan ni wi a the next campaign no dey account se kwan mi na me o so o kan se so kwan no na le buofu
yes
no to no e
buofu etiye say what can so mo bayiro mo aye na Kwesi wa ya
e ma Mr. Choko anom Mr. Choko o se twaro hot one say weather hinti na pepu abobi ayeti ye ya fansuo hia na fa bi gum na nom bi kama pa na ohonam omo akwano soronko so miski strawberry so aish udi she fridge ma jish awie na yibi say na sa wo fi dai anti FDA for ba jatum so ye best man barbers by ya asafo beni wo transport be de hwe na bebe yuti kama pa daje onipo so ntia
abrante ba ko friend Jeff
wow
na ba ko friend Michael tukwanzi Jeff o
Jeff
na omo boss na kasa best man na kasa wa adwuma na che best man de meka minimum omo pa
meba betimiti ase
omo ya ma kama
bitinti meba no maba beti ase na dansidie no Facebook fo ahwe pedicure beba betwima nanti so manicure ni nyina mayo tattoo me mi photo beto me no foso me nim so ba ye ne piercing wa bobo masum di amame a adache oni foso kra sabe kira ba bia ha ya asafo angel transport be dia no hwe 0244 565866 0244 565866 and 0248 146310 0248 146310 waya frɛ na wona be nkasa kwano soronko so Morris B se bra nkoko nuane ya ho akokwan kasa so bi ya ho ai na ba yakumase ya bane bantima press bi be dia ne hwɛ obakɔ unity wa yo ho 0244 370677 atwea won chere kora wa duru ho free bus na ntime kamfo dia ma se nyina be hia Angel FM abursana ya se ya 29th na yeko na ya 31st ai anopa duba ko pepe focus of Angel FM abrepo Johnson ha 2 dear for gospel general 0544 05 for enquiries na for pop passage
kabuza na no sa boy de maintain
na da boy you ha jesa
na maintain but na
for enquiries or for pop passage 0544
yes
9 says 4453.
Okay.
0544 964453.
Nana Pacho pork passage, and not says Casa can say Chomana.
Tato Uber to me a friend.
Sir,
I love because for pork passage, I'll bet my friend.
Sir, I say open your man to do what you are open.
What would you do?
What would you do?
Interested person can be called.
Sir,
what would you do?
William guys will be open the door. Sir,
for pork passage. Cedar Restaurant 106 of Forukrogo Avenue. Casa this year so far. Nti me come for the amount na nkatokwa no pa ni fufuo ne anwammo so yaho awurade mutuo so wa yaho bayira pesiere body pesiere nkontomira abomu ni emu odro ne mo ne palava sauce umpeye na pembe 0536 563036 Angel Herbal Product was already a hinjiwade na nsansa here we wabojisa na waba hoyi ni nyina bentu asem mu ade kua hawa for bi kwa ha Angel fatwi keke super puabo wakobobola ama na frichi Angel Herbal Mixture wono so aduane ya akatrama so awa ya wontere de 0244 780828 makion so from kwani bia bi ya ho ne nkwani kyare apia nkwapia no woyo why delivery and kwasi bro you say for your door to door delivery so up 7 famrawa 0244 417446 0244 417446.
Thank you.
Osman Bukari, one time war hours for the delivery. One time war hours Company Limited was a mechanic boho drilling, pump installation, sales of boho materials. Individuals, government institution, churches, hospital, school, etc. Was etc. Aha, first Kokoti station, Wabrosari office Rabang Yabu. The first job is here, and the second one is Cordia. It's the second one. You can go there. Now you can call in Osman Bukari at the few contact 0240 812997 exactly person 0240 812997.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you.
Me da say papa mamenye we intentem so na sorry voice so happy birthday to my son Kingsley Quality Redeemer KKR. Or say so from your dad and your mom, or say and wish you happy birthday from your dad in Shiraba Osborne and your mom and say and wish you happy birthday. So Kingsley Quality Redeemer KKR, today is your day. Happy birthday to you, son. Happy birthday to my boss man Big Joe, the CEO of Handsome Mining Company at Obuasi. Big Joe and you are order until we free your boy Vincent owo dra ahunka krum and I say and wish you happy birthday. So Big Joe, CEO of Handsome Mining Company Obuasi and order until happy birthday nyame na oma wakuma swadi nyina enso emrem we enso ye mame birthday. Happy birthday to Madam Juliet Tibo aka Sister Rama of Julinat Businesses Adum and you order into a free Araba Queen Akoto Mansa say yen wish you happy birthday. So Madam Juliet Tibo aka Sister Rama ene eyo awoda enti yama awoda pa na nyame mo akoma so adi nyina emrem we free Eunice Atakramanu final one we free Bismarck or say happy birthday to Thomas Akosa, a TV dealer near Bantama Market. This one is coming from Bismarck Mensa of Angel FM and Angel TV, wishing you Thomas Akosa happy birthday.
Kwame o anka wa ha Ember Watch. Okay, Ember Watch of Edum kwesi Ajima building. Ember se watch ya obia o se me kan che mo se mbete nenka. Okay. Say uni member dey no super. Watches ne spectacles no dey gum. Yes, any bracelet ne money nyina Ember dey aba. So we be man for brunya. Nti o se me kan che mo so watch ya mo. Na mo bete nenka ke edu so se me fa ne nche ama wa no pay ose da otie bibia ekoso fan commander 44 master yeboa e wo summarize
ayita alama
so enra de eyi de nkra fi Italy by mose ose nyame ya domo xmas obefi Italy se twin to enra otie bibia ose ochiaye assembly members e de krata bi aba mze nyame ya domo chine beka wa so omo kan omala wansa akam omo se omala wansa ma assembly members e no motorbikes it o maton krati nyame ya domo cha Kwame
ye be aye owura Brettenburger owura oso anopa ba bia ya bia ya state girls wo no Kwame akwabo a me papa ya wa akwabo a me wo fashion anu nyina chiacha wo kwano so nkoso piao
me da se na me kai wo say Pillars Construction Limited Banu General Construction, Architectural Designing, Real Estate Development, Renovation, and Remodeling. Sebia ufie no pese yense sano said the city no eyemunguni ensini from our nasa fena oshe real estate asea open futu every year and also between project management and supervision and maintenance services consultancy ye woduma pa obetimi a consult ne aboa woduma dia wudie bia ahensan estate yebe Mackenzie Hospital obetimi afre Pillars Construction was 0243 882071 0243 na ene emo enkomo ententem so yemfensi na fe yinemu emfa ema agudi akomfort fachem ne mentimi am more voice no am yankopo ya aduma me ho adwuma mo Sunday voice ma nyina benche Kwame Adjei Bohyen say ya ni mako Pauline Sikamoga Emmanuel Osafo Maf Mysterious 05 or this Bohan the rest of the team archery technician Mrs. Skyface thank you for the support